The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon or good morning, beautiful people, wherever the hell you may be. It is Thursday, August 19th, 2021, and today is a big day.
Yeah!
I don't know if I hit the beat drop or not. I can't hear while I'm speaking. I'm out here in the middle of the desert still handling some business. One night before, SmackDown invades Phoenix, and then SummerSlam is on Saturday night in Las Vegas. Only available on the Peacock.
Hell yeah.
All the boys are back in Indianapolis. I can't wait to chat with them. I miss them. I can't believe I haven't been able to see them the last 2 days in real life. It is an honor to chat every day with you gentlemen at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. How we feeling back in Indianapolis?
Fantastic. The honor's all ours, Pat. And, as you can see, I don't have the cans on anymore. I got these little Bose headphones. They're not too shabby. Feel like I'm listening to nothing, though. I'm very excited for the day.
What I don't know what that means, but I want to let you know the mullet, the Kentucky waterfall, the business on the front, the party in the back looks 10 to 20x better today with the earbuds, so you're not blocking it with the cans. And also, it looks like that son bitch is flowing a little bit better today.
Well, I learned yesterday that you do not have to go to Bed Bath & Beyond to get a hair dryer, blower, hairspray. So I actually went down to the CVS, grabbed them. And what I mean by it feels like I can't hear is that I'm used to the cans being up so loud. But because I don't have as much of a massive headset on, I got to bump these things way up as loud as I can.
Okay, I mean, I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out. At Ty Schmidt, there's been some big conversation over the last 24 hours out of Green Bay. First things first, Bob Domofsky delivers a beautiful punchline while Aaron Rodgers has another press conference that he handles perfectly. Bob Domofsky has maybe our favorite moment from an actual journalist to a player in some real time, right? In a long time, Ty?
Yeah, for sure. Bob Domofsky is the people's writer. We've always said that. A lot of people, I think, thought that either Raj didn't like him or, so there was a lot of that kind of stuff going around when the Chef reports initially came out. Bob and Raj have always had a good relationship, and as you can see, I think he's the only guy who would feel comfortable enough to do something like this in a press conference, and it slaughtered. It was awesome.
Okay, so what we're referring to, for those that don't know, Aaron Rodgers had a press conference. Anytime Aaron Rodgers speaks now, especially after everything that happened this offseason, everybody's going to listen. What are the questions that are going to be asked? Will he answer any of the questions? Well, a situation occurred a few years ago where Aaron Rodgers said, I love this fucking Kumaro guy. Came out and said it. I love this Kumaro guy. Third wide receiver, fourth wide receiver, whatever the case. I have a good chemistry with this guy. I think he can make our team better. Then literally the next day, Mark Murphy, Gintikins, and others said, we're going to cut that guy. Didn't tell Aaron anything. So it was a very public, open Aaron Rodgers, who now we know has never had any say on anything basically happening over there. He comes out and goes to bat for a guy publicly, which he probably hasn't done in the past because maybe he wants to do things private. He's like, hey, nobody really listens to my shit over here, but I just want to let the world know Kumaro is fucking good. Okay, we deserve to give him a little. The next day they cut him. Okay, the Packers cut him literally the next day. And people say, they drafted Jordan Love. That's what made Aaron Rodgers so mad. It was like, no, I think it was also the Kumaro, the Kuhn, the Charles, everything that happened like that. Right. So now Aaron's back, and he's talking up another unknown guy. Kaufusi?
Yeah.
Is that the name?
Yeah, Bronson Kaufusi.
Kaufusi. So now Aaron's publicly speaking about another player called Kaufusi, and Bob Domofsky, the people's writer, the Big J journalist who might have a little bit of a personality deep down underneath that cold-hearted journalism soul he has to have, asked an incredible question to lead off Aaron Rodgers' press conference.
I can't wait to see what Kaufusi does in Buffalo this year. But anyway, if you didn't know, Morgan was from Ashwaubenon. Did you know?
Aaron with a Jesus Bob on the other side of that. This is going to be fascinating because we saw, obviously, Cobb come back, and that was allegedly the first thing that Aaron, wanted back on the team. Then he's putting out tweets or Instagram stories about Clay Matthews, like, hey, Thor, hey, guy that basically got run out of the Rams, took the year off last year, still got paid by the Rams last year, still got some, you come on in here. Now he's talking about Kafusi. I mean, there is a lot of situations here for us to kind of get a grasp on how much Gunther Kuntz and Murphy and Aaron are really coming together, Ty. I feel like the 50s uniforms we will talk about here in a second. I like a little change up.
Hell yeah.
Change up. Look like a little green machine out there. I like a little change up. But the synergy of Aaron, Gunther Kuntz, and Mark Murphy, how are we? How do you feel as a fan watching along, and how does it end up?
I feel good at this point. I mean, the whole time it was just like, is Raj going to show up? Is he going to retire? Is he going to be someone else or somewhere else? Now that he's there, I don't think there's really any issues. There's no point in looking into the future. It's comforting to hear him say, like, hey, I don't want like a retirement tour or like a farewell tour or whatever. Like, he's focused on this year. He's talked about being present, being in the moment. So I mean, I think as a fan, you can't get too ahead of yourself. But went to the NFC Championship last year. You bring back the most important piece. Like, I'm very, very excited and hopeful for the season to start.
Same press conference Ty is talking about where Aaron said, this isn't a farewell tour. I'm not looking ahead. I have no idea. He said, I'm going to try to enjoy the hell out of it. What this is, this season, this team, this run, and then deal with everything in the offseason. It seems like is the right strategy, bold strategy. I'm pumped to see how the Gunther Kuntz, Murphy, Aaron Rodgers saga, Real Housewives type situation unfolds through the season, because there's going to be trade deadlines.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a team that maybe an injury happens. Can we get back as quick as possible? There's going to be a lot of things that potentially can unfold where Aaron, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but has the potential on Tuesdays every once in a while to maybe air some grievances or ideas. I'm real excited for the season, and hopefully Aaron will be able to say, I don't want to just wear these 50s Lambeau Green Bay Packers jerseys on week 7 one time against Washington. I want to wear these sons of bitches every damn game. Bakhtiari, big, handsome son bitch from number 69 wearing these uniforms. It is a beautiful thing whenever teams say, hey, we're going to do something a little different. Now, is it a cash grab because they'll sell those jerseys to everybody that's in the stadium and people want to feel alive, look alive? Absolutely. Is it something that maybe adds a little bit more for flair for your marketing? Absolutely. But I like the fact that the players seem to love it. Ty, I saw you as a Packers fan. A lot of people on the internet are going to flame a lot of things. Okay, immediately upon seeing this, it's green and it's green and yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow. They're not the easiest colors to make look sweet. Okay, everybody needs to remember that whenever these uniforms come out. A football uniform looks like a football uniform all the time. It's not the easiest, most fashionable thing to make happen. Plus the green and yellow. I don't know if that's like super swag colors out there or not, but I like it, Ty. You like this, and let's see more of this.
Oh, yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, like Diggs has talked about this a lot, and the Colts too. Like, they're so traditional when they do these new uniform things. Like, there really are no changes because it's tried and true. It's the same thing. Like, the Packers throwback, they do the Acme Packers one, but, like, it's not a great, combo. They got brown pants and like a navy jersey and a yellow helmet. Like, it's just a weird mashup. If you look at their old logo, like these colors are true to that. I like that they went for it a little bit. I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, it just looks like, one of Oregon's leftover uniforms. Like, get out of town. This looks incredible. And guess what? You know what? The football team isn't going to love it when they're getting the football shoved down their throats with these green and gold uniforms. I think they're awesome.
The football team, I think they're awesome as well. And if you get one of Oregon's sloppy seconds or sloppy 10th uniforms, I think you're pretty pumped about that, because Oregon's uniforms are unbelievable.
Nasty.
I mean, Phil Knight's literally back in the kitchen back there cooking up new uniforms for him every single day. Every day, Phil Knight's like, hey, you remember how we changed the game here at Oregon? I was a runner, And I said, hey, give me that waffle frying pan and let me put some rubber in there. And then he created Souls, and then Nike happened, and now he's a gazillionaire. I think since that happened, Oregon was gifted with every cool thing of all time first and before everybody else. So those saying it's a knockoff Oregon jersey, I think every Nike uniform is probably a knockoff Oregon jersey at this point with how Phil Knight has viewed that thing.
When they do stuff like this, like I know how you said like you had to buy one of your captain's jerseys and like they don't just like give you that kind of stuff. Like, is this getting taken out of your check when like they have these new like throwback uniforms or whatever? Like, are they nickel and diming you guys over this kind of stuff?
I don't recall because we only did one real throwback, and it was a blue helmet. We had a blue helmet on, and I think I have it still. So I don't know if I bought it or if they gave it to me. I'm not 100% sure, but it was a big day when the Colts did it because the Colts never, ever do it. And I think the jerseys being purchased by players has been something that has maybe happened forever at different spots, but then once the jersey exchange thing became the fad, all the teams, it started getting spotlighted a lot more and a lot more. So I had to buy the jerseys that I wanted to keep. They charged me for it. They just kind of take it out of your, you don't even know if you buy it. They just take it out of your check. It's money that was never there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Bingo.
They do it with taxes for the county, the state,
but
if it's not there, it's not there. So I'm not sure. I don't recall what it was with the throwback. I like the teams do it though. Yeah. I think it's smart business wise. I think it keeps it fresh with the fans too. There's some. Go to the Steelers jersey that has McAfee on the back of it right over Connor's shoulder there. That Bumblebee one from the Steelers, people bash that one. I think it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love it whenever it's out there. The Packers one is kind of like it looks like you're watching, old school baseball almost with the way they're dressed. But I just think it's cool whenever you keep things fresh like that. But I understand the tradition and the business side of it all, whatever it is. More press conference conversation, though. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are joint practicing with the Tennessee Titans led by Old Vrabes and the boys. So far going into the show, there had been 5 fights at the practice just this morning.
Damn.
There was 4 reported, and as we were talking about that 4th one, Fournette and somebody else got into it to make it 5. 5 fights between the Titans and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in joint practices, and I have in one day, and I have no idea how that doesn't happen every single joint practice, every single day. I think I've been pretty loud on that train for a long time, and I think this all, stems our reaction mostly from whenever there was a fight at Giants practice or a fight somewhere else or a fight in Detroit, and the head coach goes, hey,
these guys are fired up, man. Love to see that competitive edge, man. Let them fight. I hope a guy breaks his hand swinging on somebody.
Okay, so MCDC didn't say that, but everybody kind of went after MCDC. They went after the Giants. Oh, this culture's bad. This culture's bad. There was a lot of people that were living in a fairy tale land that don't understand, like, hey, when it's 100 degrees and you're in training camp, which is a miserable existence, you're getting paid well if you make the team. Okay, if you make the team, you're getting paid well. But training camp is a miserable time. And if you're just running your fit, bam, bam, bang, take a break, grab a water. Okay, back in there. Bang, face to face. Bang, another one. Right back. Bang, face right back in. Bang, face just back in. Boom, face right back in there. And by the way, last night, I wasn't able to sleep on my own bed. Had to sleep in a dorm. When I had to go piss at 3 a.m. because they tell me to stay hydrated, I actually bumped into one of our nose tackles on the way down the hall to pee because it was a public bathroom that we had to go to. The food I'm eating is cafeteria food. I've been in meetings for 8 hours a day for the last 5 days. I'm a little bit tired. Muscles are a little bit sore. I get back on the field and guess, look, bang, another one, face to face. Boom, another one, face to face. 120 degrees now, humidity, 200%. Bang, face to face. Boom, face to face. That's what training camp is. There is a good chance that guys who have the edge to make it to the NFL after running their face into a fucking guy when it's 100 degrees and they're already potentially set up to be miserable. The dog days are how these things are described. Fights are going to happen. Emotion's going to happen. Intensity is going to happen. And it is no different down there in Tampa with old Tennessee Titans and Buccaneers camp. They're brawling. Rams and Raiders are brawling. I mean, the Cowboys and Rams last week were brawling. It feels like we're set up for a great NFL season. Feels like the boys are ready to go.
And no matter what, like you said, there's going to be fights, but then you consider it's a Bruce Arians coach team and it's a Mike Vrabel coach team. It's like, hey, it doesn't really matter if they're just, on the opposite side of a play. Those dudes probably want to see some sort of fight, right? Like, are there coaches who, okay, we're going to condemn fighting, but don't forget, like, you better go out there and compete and actually show us you care? Or is everybody just kind of like, hey, this is going to happen no matter what? It doesn't matter.
I'm not sure. I haven't been around, but I'm certain not all coaches are condemning fighting.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's been a memo sent to coaches maybe telling, hey, need your players not to fight as much at training camp. I don't know if that's a point of emphasis for practicing from the NFL or not. But Vrabes, I mean, from everything we know about him, and we don't know much, never met him personally, just the stories we have heard from people that do know him. If he was to watch his team practice against, let's say, the Buccaneers or anybody else, and one of their running backs just catches an extra late elbow or something, and nobody does anything, I'd assume Vrabes would punish the team a lot harder for not fighting for their guy than he would for fighting for the guy. Yeah. There's probably more moments happening like that everybody on the Titans knows. Like, hey, if I don't show up for my teammates, if I'm on film going the other way when a fight is happening, let's assume the head coach that is known for being one of the toughest humans to ever play in the NFL, a guy who still puts on boxing, let's assume that guy's going to be pissed that I didn't go to battle for my teammates. And that's what I think there's a lot of coaches. Vrabes kind of gets that. There's a lot of coaches that view it that way. That's why even my little punk dumb ass, if a fight ever happened between the team I was on and the other team, and it was near me, helmet on, sprint towards action, okay? Who knows what you're going to do in there? Probably going to eat an uppercut, maybe the jaw. You don't have the mouthpiece in, could be in trouble. My face mask was also too close to my face, so somebody could have broken my nose with a punch, but I'm getting in there because on film, you can't be the guy going the other direction. So when you're talking BA and Vrabes, I think that's a very valid point. That ain't nobody want to be on film running the other motherfucking way. And football will always be a physical, violent sport. Let's assume that fights are always going to happen regardless. And let's remember that for next year when people are saying, oh, these archaic, barbarian assholes can't get with the times, they're still fighting out there. It's like, let's put the most, I won't put Gandhi. Okay, that's the most peaceful person.
Oh, yeah.
I will put Gandhi in some pads, put him in a 3 technique, and have him run his face into somebody, just for 2 hours. I assume Gandhi at some point is going to give a quote that isn't as inspiring, motivational, and peaceful. I assume at the end of that there's going to be turns out I do fucking hate people. I just think it's a recipe for that, and we're getting a chance to see it. Antonio Brown got into it with a corner. I assume that's a holding, talk shit situation. Antonio Brown, who is known to be very intense, worked very hard. He got into it, got sent in to cool off. He got brought. I think that's going to continue to happen, and it's nice to know there's still a lot of edge out there, a little fire out there, no matter how the game is.
Well, with the Raiders, too, that was a special team scrimmage, they said, where some sort of fight broke out, and Mike Mayock was ripping dudes off the pile. Like, for you, how does a special teams fight break out? Is that the same thing, a hold, some sort of bullshit penalty, or someone even tries and goes to block a punt kick, and then they get a little too close to the punter? Like, did you have kind of like a red jersey type of, hey, no one go near the punter or else we're kind of screwed in one phase of the game?
So we only did one joint practice, and it was with the Bears. And I think Fox was the coach. I think Fox was the coach. Robbie Gold was still the kicker. Pat O'Donnell was the punter. Kyle Long was on the team. They came to Indianapolis. It was the first time I'd ever experienced anything like that in the football world. I'd never experienced it. And we're separated from most of it, and then some of the drills you came together. There was like a special teams period where everybody came together, and it was ones-on-ones, punt, block, right? They're going to run some twists in action we're going to try to hold them up, and then we're going to punt. Returner's going to try to catch. Gunners, I think, halfway downfield maybe with people blocking them, and they're going to try to, like, as simulated as much as possible so the special teams coaches and everybody could get good looks at, hey, who can potentially get off the ball, who can block, who can't, because you're trying to, that's where a lot of guys are trying to make a team, make a club during those special teams meetings. But now both Chicago and Indy won. Like, I think the special teams coaches loved it because you're getting a chance to see all the guys that you're trying to read the waiver wire for anyways. And I thought, because I had watched a lot of practices, stay away from the fucking quarterback is something that is yelled a lot.
Yeah.
So when I was jogging out for this punt period, I was like, is anybody going to say, like, hey, stay away from fucking Pat? You know what I mean? Like, is anybody going to say it? Nobody said it. Nobody at all said it. But my PP at the time, he turned around right before then, and it was like a game rep. Like my PP, I think it was Clayton Geathers. He had been my PP for a long time. I think it was him. He turned around and said, ain't none of these motherfuckers getting close or whatever. And I was like, okay. And there was a couple where he, it was a real thing. But I thought there was going to be a fight like every rep, because in special teams, that is literally a roster spot for roster spot right there. That is how you're going to get paid, either for the Raiders or for the Rams. For us, the Bears or the Colts. A lot of those guys are probably going to get cut and moved to different teams. So those special teams periods get very, very intense. It was very professional, the one that I went to. But, yeah, you could see how, somebody who potentially has nothing to lose could get pissed off when somebody else who has potentially nothing to lose does something disrespectful, and then the whole brawl starts. I like that Mayock, though, is going in there and diving and grabbing guys.
Oh, yeah.
All you need is just, one quick, pull with a helmet, and Mayock's, dead.
Yeah. Blown out knee.
Unless Mayock has a helmet to get in there.
Well. I was curious. Do you think because the Bucks won the Super Bowl last year, are they? And you said there were 5-6 fights today. Are they more susceptible to this? Because teams are hey, let's go compete against these guys, really? Or do you think it's just that's just the way it is? There are always going to be fights. It's not necessarily heightened because the Bucks are coming to town.
Yeah, I think there's just always going to be fights. I know some people are going to hate to hear that. I honestly believe that what we described here for the last 15 minutes is going to lead to a potential altercation between some people who are violent for a living.
Yeah.
It's like we talk about, and we have before, where the cage fighters will maybe make bad decisions outside of the cage, Mm-hmm. Well, no shit. There's a chance that's going to happen with the same brain. And I'm not saying every cage fighter is this way. I'm just saying let's assume that there are some brains that don't make great decisions that end up fighting in a cage for a living. Let's assume that happens. People that play football, let's assume some of them are actually violent people. Football is how they get a lot of their aggression out and anger out. Whenever you have somebody that's not on your team and you get a chance to prove how loyal you are to your team at the same exact time for a potential job, it's ripe for a brawl. That is just what it is. That's why, once again, I have no idea how these joint practices don't end up as a fucking SummerSlam-like card from beginning to end in team period, special teams, 2-minute. I don't know how they're not brawling all the damn time. Let's move around the NFL just a little bit more. Jason Wright, the president of the Washington football team, the team, because I'm out here in the desert with the team and the name. It felt good to get out of the rain. By the way, just yesterday,
Yeah.
I saw a monsoon in the desert.
Oh, what?
Excuse me?
I was here. First monsoon since 2014 out here in the desert. I'm here. I seen it rain in the desert yesterday. There is an inspirational quote in there somewhere, Ty Schmidt. There ain't never supposed to be a flood or a monsoon in the middle of the goddamn desert. That's why it's titled The Desert, because it is deserted of water. There is brown everywhere. There's cactuses and cacti that are supposed to store the only water inside of them. Yesterday, I seen Mother Nature taking entirely massive piss all over this desert. And if you can't find motivation that sometimes what's not supposed to happen can happen in a big time moment, I don't know what you're going to find motivation out of, Ty.
Hey, be careful. I know you told us off air yesterday you were thinking about going and scaling that mountain behind you, like Alex Honnold. You're going to free solo it with the rain and everything. I mean, we're looking at mudslides and said, be safe out there, please.
Well, I appreciate that, and thank you for looking out for me. But I have seen Alex Honnold climb the Dahn wall.
Right.
True.
Okay. So I've seen the film. I've watched the film. If I'm going to attack Camelback back here in Gorilla Rock, there's a Gorilla Rock over here. Yeah, it's like a rock. By the way, I don't know if that's its actual name. Me and Sam named it.
Nice.
Okay, because it's a rock that sticks up from Camelback, and it looks like a gorilla looking off in the distance or whatever. So I was thinking about climbing Gorilla Rock when we first got here.
Sure.
After the monsoons, it's way too shiny.
Can't do it.
Because I'm going to need all that chalk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And normally out here in the desert, it's just chalk. Normally, without dried, it's normally just chalk. But with how much rain they had yesterday, he said 2 to 3 days, you're going to see green in places there isn't normally green. All this shit just grew up on the mountains that normally is dead, by the way. First sense of water, just like fucking green on the mountains, and then it'll be gone in like a day or so. It was insane out here.
Are there still tarantulas everywhere, or did those things also get washed away with all the water?
Yeah, everybody has kind of learned about the tarantulas out here via my wife's Instagram story. The tarantulas just swim, I guess. Like in the pool down here, tarantulas just swimming through the pool. The locals said that's not normal at all. So, of course, I'm stuck with the fucking tarantula pool. You know what I mean? And the locals have no idea what it is. But I love it out here. I can't stress it enough. Now, granted, I got to see some rain, so maybe it wasn't as thick yesterday as it's probably going to be today. I walked outside.
Oh, I can imagine.
This heat. A little humidity, too, by the way, because of what happened yesterday.
Yikes.
So the desert with humidity, you can probably guess. I love it out here, though. I absolutely love it out here.
Well, they check off most of the boxes, right? I mean, they have legal gambling coming soon. I believe the marijuana is legal out there, too. They really do have everything in Arizona. Who would have thought? Not me.
Well, and I think the only thing that they're kind of like scared of over here, because what do you got in California? You got fires and earthquakes, right?
Yep.
That's
Sure.
The fires and earthquakes are things in California, although the weather's unbelievable. T's and P's for that. Middle of America, you got what? Tornadoes you got to worry about?
Flooding.
In the south, you got flooding, you got hurricanes.
Tornadoes.
In the northeast, you just got to deal with massholes.
Well,
You
no.
know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty
So there's-
easy, though.
Yeah, there's potential disasters everywhere. You know what I mean?
True.
And I think out here in the desert, normally, what is it, just how dry it is? That's what they got to deal with?
Oh, yeah. You get that dry heat. You see a lot of the, it's 94 out, feels like 194.
It's beautiful, though, out here, man. And maybe it's because the rain came yesterday. I got to see that, and it kind of cooled it off or whatever. I fucking love this place. The last time I was out here for, like, an extended time, Foxy and I flew out here for something wrestling-wise, and then we flew out, like, a day later. We were in a hotel. Now that I'm kind of in a house getting to see it and, like, drive around the last time I was out here for some real time was for the Fiesta Bowl. We talked about this yesterday. And that Fiesta Bowl was after the 13-9 game. You know what I mean? It was after the 13-9 pick game. We ended up in the Fiesta Bowl. So at that moment in my life, I was thinking about a lot of things, because I wanted to disappear there for a bit. And now here I am. It's pretty cool to come back to the same area because we were practicing on a field right over here. There was a junior college we were practicing on. I actually saw it whenever we came out here for the Fiesta Bowl. And it was just like, it's cool. It's cool. Like, hey, the last time I was here, I was in a much different mindset. Now I'm like doing business out here. It's a real full circle coming of age tale here. But these fucking mountains are no joke. And I do believe there's rattlers. So you got to watch that.
Jeez, I would have never assumed that big bald BFS AQ Shipley was onto something when he moved out to Phoenix.
He's been texting everybody out here, by the way, that I'm here. The chef at this place that I'm staying at fucking gave us the biggest shark board of all time.
Oh.
Yeah, and it took up this whole thing. We're playing little dominoes there last night. I'm fucking undefeated in the desert, obviously. But the shark board ate up this whole thing, basically. And the note on it said, AQ said you were in town. So I think AQ might be the fucking mayor. I'm not 100% sure. I think he might be the mayor. I believe we're being joined Oh, we got to go to a break. Zito just told me. All right, let's go to a break.
Here we go.
Then we'll
Okay.
call. We got an incredible guest today.
Really?
Here we go.
Yeah, we got an incredible guest today. Joe Hayden will be joining us.
yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
He's looking for a new contract, I believe, but that's only because he's so damn good. That Pittsburgh Steelers defense is like clockwork. Death, taxes, Steelers defense is going to be good. Big part of that. Joe Hayden will join us on the other side of this break, and Rappaport will join us today alongside AJ Hawk in hour 2 and hour 3, plus a lot of your phone calls. 1-833-4-McAfee. Cannot wait to chat with you. We got a giveaway happening on the SeatGeek ticker. Make sure you read there and see how you can get yourself maybe winning home opener tickets.
Whoa!
Yeah, big things popping off here in a beautiful time. We'll see you in 4 minutes with Joe Hayden. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Thursday, August 19th, 2021.
My entire life, whether it was driving me to practice, to go to work, the coaches that invested hours in me, everything I have done to get to this point. I got a whole town, a community, a family, a tribe of people watching me potentially live out my dreams that we all thought was going to happen. And when I get to Rock, I get a chance to carry 8 motherfuckers that are playing for a team that is in the city that I went to college in. I carry 8 people, have the biggest moment in my football career, maybe make a team, if not with the coach somewhere else. Hey, that guy's got juice, let's do it. Change the entire direction in the course of my family's life. I can't be excited though.
no.
Don't even think
Don't
about
you
it.
fucking dare.
Are you kidding me? Are you? All that just happened and everything I just said there and more is potentially happening in that one play? Don't even fucking think it. Get your fucking ass back in the huddle. You know Barry Sanders? Hey, Barry Sanders, he'd score a touchdown and he would just hand it to the ref and then he was gone. Why don't I? Well, Barry Sanders also won the Heisman, right?
Yeah.
It was also like the all-time leading scorer in this whole thing. Barry Sanders was unbelievable, worked his ass off. Let's not get crazy. And Barry Sanders had the ability to act like he had been there before because Barry Sanders, by the way, had fucking been there before. And maybe Barry Sanders, the way he goes about business isn't how everybody goes about business. Maybe there's a lot of different stories, a lot of different situations, a lot of different life events that lead to somebody acting differently than somebody that just acted, almost robotic while being one of the most exciting and electric players in the history. Got nothing but love for Barry Sanders. Let's not get crazy. But there's a lot of people tweeting, act like you've been there before. It's like, you think this motherfucker's been there before?
Hasn't.
This dude just carried 8 people and maybe changed the entire life. He can't be excited. Aren't we a game of emotion? Aren't we a game of excitement? Why is this a fucking penalty? Hey, Goodell! Hey, eating your M&Ms, sitting on the chair, being cool. You became my commissioner. You weren't my commissioner when, hey, you dance, you're fucking out. Your sock slide, you're fucking out. We don't want anything. We want robots, no emotion. Everybody hated you then, Raj. All right, everybody hated you. And nobody understood why you're trying to take the fun out of the game. You're doing it because you want to be able to just pluck and play. You didn't want to have players be brand names because then you could replace them easily. Okay, I understand the business side of it, but we all agreed, the tribe has spoken, that the game's better when people are excited. Some things are too much. All right, some things are way too much. There were some dances that happened that looked a little bit more like basketball, where we're all like, there's no way that can happen with a full line dance. We get it, there was some. But it added to the game. The excitement added to everything. Now taking away this and making it a point of emphasis. And I'm not saying that there should be if something egregious happens, they should penalize them. Yes, please. It's not for the good of our game, not for the good of the league, not good for fans, not good for anybody. I understand that's going to happen, but a point of emphasis means, hey, we're cracking down on this because we don't want it to happen anymore. And why are we targeting that as opposed to targeting something else I'll never understand? My commissioner, Roger Goodell, is going to get to the bottom of this if Sam Acho doesn't do it first.
Yeah.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that's street.
We're back. We're back.
We're back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show. It is great to be here. I hope you are living fantastically. I just got a shot of Zito going like this to me, so I don't know if that means we're live or not. The Toxic Table back in Indianapolis, Indiana. Got a chance to hear you boys pipe in. The Hammer Down boys are also joining us in studio, I believe, at Tone Diggs, at Bubba Gumpino. Boys, how we doing gambling? We winning? I saw a bad tweet from you, Diggs.
Yeah, I got raked over the fucking coals last night, but you're going to have that in gambling. Gumpy, it's always going to be one of us in the winning night. Gumpy handled that last night.
Yes, sir. 4-2 baseball last night. We're back.
Yeah!
Just one day schneid. That's it. One day schneid. That's all it is.
And what's going on with your friend Diggs there, Gumpy? Or should we expect him to get back to being hot, or are we waiting for football for this guy?
This chart this man has for college football, he could go undefeated the whole season, Pat.
What chart is it? Did he create himself? Why aren't we selling it? All these people write all these big-time magazines and articles about predictions for college football. Do we have a Tone Diggs COVID Cowboy college football prediction thing?
No, it's more of like I took all the information that I thought was pertinent from other people's college football previews and then put it into a giant Excel spreadsheet.
It's genius.
Well, all you got to do is down at the bottom, at the footer or whatever, you got to put like
Footnotes.
the asterisk and say, hey, stole this from Warren Sharp. Hey, stole this from Pat Ford. Hey, stole this from Rivals. Hey, stole this from. Is that where are they all the same college people?
I would assume definitely not Warren Sharp, but the other guys, yeah, for sure.
Whoa.
Tony.
What the hell was that about?
What?
Why? Warren Sharp just NFL football? What?
What?
Yeah, he created the game a couple years ago, and I think he just does NFL.
Him and Dr. Florio actually created it together.
I didn't know we were going to get into that. I was being serious. Warren Sharp hasn't taken his analytics to the college game. Is that the only reason why you're saying that? Or?
Yeah. He was nice enough to send us his 400-page NFL book. I'm only about 270 pages through that, so we'll get the NFL XL soon.
The guy sent us a gift. This guy worked his ass off on this thing, and now you're going to disparage
No,
it.
not disparaging.
You did a little bit.
You did.
Yeah, you did.
You insulted him a little bit.
But no, I would feel bad selling this because it is other people's information, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, Zito, are we calling Joe Hayden? Is he answering or not?
I
I think he's in the bathroom right now, so I don't think he's going to make it to the show. He did not answer.
All right, cool. That's great news. Let's move along then. Jason Wright, president of the Washington football team, had to answer some questions on a particular piece of content that the Washington football team put out. I believe the show is called Making the Brand. It's a massive thing about what will the name of the team be going forward. Obviously, after 3 exposés last season and a lot of other conversation in the state of the world, they were left with a team with no name, no culture, no nothing. They still were able to win some games while their coach battled through cancer just last season and almost beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs before the Tampa Bay Buccaneers inevitably go on to win the Super Bowl. They bring in Ryan Fitzmagic. It feels like what once was the depths of hell for the Washington football team now is potentially starting to fly a little bit. Brighter days are ahead. And it is brightest after its darkest dawn, and the Washington football team, brightest after the darkest. Yeah. Anyways, Washington football team was dark days. Dark days about a year ago. Dark days. But now here we are, one season into the Washington football team run. We'll pick a new name later, they said. Now they're at the point of picking their new name. They're doing like a behind-the-scenes reality TV show almost for what the new name is. You hear on that video both Ron Rivera and Jason Wright go, yeah, I really like, and then they bleep out, bleep out, bleep out. So they're trying to leave teasers and get everybody involved and on the edge of their seats for what the name of one of the largest fan bases in the NFL will be cheering for. And then the way they went about it is they gave us a list of 8 of them. You got the Armada on there. You got the Presidents on there. You had the Sentinels on there. You got the Commanders on there. The DC Defenders, which was XFL team, the Red Hogs, the Red Wolves. You got all those. And he had to come out and say, just to be clear, because everyone keeps asking, we are down to and working through a final 3, but this is no form of the final 8 list. These are just a selection of names that happen to show up in the video our team produced. So the final 3 are in there, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that is not the final 8. There are 5 bullshit finalists in there. Who do you think are the final 3 that they've already decided that's what they're trying to do? Anytime you change a name or go forward, it is going to change a lot. There's a lot of money on the line. There's fans on the line. There's a bunch of bitching and moaning that's definitely going to happen. I mean, this is a big deal for Jason Wright. I hope they get it right, even though they'll probably get it Jason wrong for at least half their fans.
I mean, Armada's definitely not on there. We know Defenders can't be because it's XFL. Nobody likes Presidents right now, so you got to assume it's the Washington football team, it's the Red Wolves, and it's a oink, 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 Red Hogs. I mean, I think Red Hogs also plays just as well as Red Wolves.
Okay, so you think Red Hogs,
Boom.
Red Wolves, Washington football team are your final 3.
And you know what? I will throw Commanders in
Yeah.
there because they could have a cool dude in a commander outfit, like walking around saluting everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Commanders would be very cool because they command your attention. They command you to lose a football game. They command. Yeah. I like the name Commanders. I think Red Wolves has to be in there, right?
Yeah.
Because just the virality of it all. I think Washington football team has to be in there as well. We came to this conclusion yesterday because I think they're going to piss some people off that they moved to Washington football team. People maybe fell in love with Washington football team, old school WFT, how you doing? This is what we're about. They're going to lose in this regardless with some fans, but massive decision tie.
Well, and you made a good point yesterday that I hadn't really thought about. Like when you said, when we were saying, hey, Washington football team's got to be up there. Like of these available names, like that is probably the toughest one in terms of like branding and logo and like putting that on the shirts. Like there's not a whole lot you can really do with that. And I didn't really think about that. Like that is a massive part of the decision. You get Red Wolves, like that kind of opens the doors a little bit for what you can do with like the mascot and the the logos and the designs. Like there's so much shit that goes into this. I think a lot of people forget about that.
If you go Commander as well, go Commander Z's. Ooh. Main guy. Oh, holy shit.
Hey, Commander Aziz was a part of the Intercontinental Championship team just a week ago, but now, So I had to set an alarm, because we're out here.
Yeah,
Of course.
And when we're back in Indy, I don't have to set an alarm. Body clock gets me up.
Yeah.
Right? I'm up. I'm ready to go. How you doing? Keep moving. Normally I have to piss, and I'll do it, or my cicada rhythm cycle does its thing. You know what I mean? Had to set an alarm for the first time in a long time. I forgot what my alarm tone is. It is bam. People forget, I think everybody assumes because I lose my fucking mind when King Nakamura comes out that is all a gimmick or whatever. It's like, that was literally my alarm and ringtone immediately upon hearing it years ago. I think that is you got the boom, 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 boom. Like, there's only a couple of those that really catch on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's only a couple of them. And his is immediately upon hearing it, I caught on to it. But it was very loud and woke me up this morning for sure. But yeah, it's been great to be out here in fucking desert time.
That is one of the best ever. I just think back to when we were in New Orleans for WrestleMania on Bourbon Street. If you could bottle what was going on there when Shinsuke's theme song came on, I think you could disseminate that across the world and garner world peace. That was the most unified I've ever seen anyone anywhere on Bourbon Street, no less, where you're expecting guys to get knocked out. Shinsuke's music comes on and it's just like, you got 50,000 brothers and sisters around you just having a good time.
I will say there was like a 65, 70-year-old lady who seemed to really love that song down there in Bourbon Street. She unrolled those things as quick as she could for the song.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Bounced right down onto the ground. Right into the little puddle down there.
That's what, it was amazing.
Yeah. It's incredible.
But you're right. If they are the Washington Commander Azizes, they would command attention, dude, if that was the case. That guy's 7'6", I think, walking around. He can move. He's no longer the champ. Red Wolves seems to already have an entire built-in marketing strategy.
Yeah.
And you talked about the point of the merch and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just as something as small as this, because think about just a club head, like a driver club head thing.
Yeah.
Just that's one small little tiny little piece of merch, by the way. Just one that you can put a Red Wolf right on top of the driver.
Boom.
And that thing will sit there.
Yep.
Now, could you just put a WFT thing over there? You could, but if it's like a savage Red Wolf, like a cool looking wolf, or whatever they're going to go, the marketing for that, the dollars behind the merch there, that is, and, you know, it's all about the fans and the game and
Of course.
everything, obviously.
Sure.
But let's also not forget about the billions. Billions of dollars that are up for grabs in the merch whenever it comes to the entire thing. Let's go to some phone calls, shall we, here on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. You go to 5hourenergy.com and use promo code what, Ty?
McAfee?
You get 10% off your order. That's only valid through September 30th.
Oh,
Yep.
get in now.
Yeah. It's
Get
ending quick.
in now. Let's go to Elliot in New York. What's going on, Elliot?
Hey, Pat. Thanks for taking my call. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you sound great. Thanks
Hey,
for calling
Pat.
in, bub. What do you want? What part of New York you in?
Upper Manhattan.
Ugh.
Man, you live good. This kid's living in fucking Manhattan.
Jeez.
Yeah, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Listen, Pat, I wanted to ask you if you could give a shout out, do me a favor. My cousin has this charity fundraiser basketball tournament to raise money for Leukemia Lymphoma Society. Unfortunately, my cousin passed away a few years ago of it. We have this annual thing. It's a 3-on-3 and a biking thing. They call it a tour de court. It's a whole big event. And, you know, if I could share the link with you guys, it's tourdecourt.org. Additionally, we'd love to invite you guys. I know it's short notice, but it's September 5th, Sunday. It's down in Baltimore. Well, welcome to Steelers fans, because it's for a good cause. If we want to see Foxy drink some threes, we'd love for you guys to come out. And thank you so much for everything you do. I love the show.
All right, thank you, Elliot. Let's not obviously get into a routine of doing that. I'm not going to cut off the Tour de Court promotion, especially with the story of his family. We apologize for you losing your cousin. Your cousin was a great guy. Happy you're doing that. I'm not 100% sure if we'll get a team in there, but tourdecourt.com. Me, Connor, and Foxy, though.
Whew. We could put on
Three
quite
on
a clinic.
three. 3 on 3. I mean, is there twos, ones and twos?
I mean, look,
Assume so.
I would hope so.
yeah, definitely. I've actually, not to brag, I have a 3-on-3 championship under my belt already, so I do think we could go and get the job done, Pat.
Where was that? Worcester?
No, not in Worcester. It was a little south of Gloucester.
How many teams were in this 3-on-3? Was there 9 people there?
No. They were actually leagues. There was like a college league, an NBA league, obviously, which we ended up dominating. Look, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to, relive the glory days, but I'm just saying, I do believe me, you, and Foxy could hold our own in any 3-on-3 tournament.
I don't know if we're going to be able to make it on the Tour de Court. Let's go to Ernesto right here in Phoenix somewhere. Ernesto, you in Paradise Valley, pal?
I'm not, but I'm close by. I want to say, hey, Pat and the boys, thanks for McAfee and Hot Sports Talk. There has been a monsoon this week in the Valley, and you better believe there is another storm brewing, because tomorrow, Friday, August 20th, the Summer of Cena, the very last stop before the biggest party of the summer at the same arena that has brought to you what has been labeled the loudest crowd in the NBA. The most electrifying sports arena in the world. The walls will be shaking, the speakers will be blasting, and as my good old friend Stevie once said, if the house is rocking, don't bother knocking. Come on in. Because for the first time in a long time, WWE Friday Night SmackDown returns to Phoenix, Arizona.
Let's Fox, 8 p.m. Eastern, you'll get a chance to see that electrifying action that Ernesto just described in the same building that homes the loudest crowd in the NBA. That building is built to be loud, says Ernesto. Let's have a SmackDown the night before SummerSlam. I'm excited for that. Ooh,
yeah,
what a promo.
Everything you said was on par except for Summer Cena. We know he's going to get his ass handed to him on Saturday and probably tomorrow night, if I had to guess.
John Cena said he's ready to get his ass beat. He said all he needs is 1, 2, 3.
No way.
That's pretty good.
Ain't happening.
Hey, did you hear what they said to each other last week?
Oh, yeah.
They said some rude stuff to each other. I don't know how rude it's going to get. Like, are they going to talk to each other again? I thought, because in this, I don't know enough about this business, right, to know.
Yeah.
Like, do you think I don't know. No. There was some shit that was said last week.
When he dropped that Nikki Bella, that one hit, man. That one hit.
Do that.
I would imagine.
I was sitting there like, it's a little uncomfortable out here.
I would imagine that they have mutual respect for each other because of the business. But yeah, I do not think these guys like each other.
No.
And it's now that we're kind of in it. I don't want to say we're in it, but getting to see it a little. I think we're paying attention to it a lot more now because we are, kind of in it at this point or whatever, watching. And the last Friday night, dude, there was some fun. I mean, it was uncomfortable. Yeah. It was uncomfortable. If I wasn't, I don't know. I've been trying to have some truth on the things that I inject while people are talking. That one, whenever they were going, I mean, it was tough not to be like, damn. Oh, kill shot, shit. Kill shot. Hey, that was buckshot, not birdshot. Tim in Maryland. Tim, what's going on, pal?
What's going on, pal? What's going on, boys? Thanks for taking my call. And I appreciate you saying that the Washington football team is going to win the NFCs. I think it's probably a no-brainer because the rest of the fucking, division stinks. Been a Washington football team fan my whole life. The only problem I have is, can the whole scoreboard thing at the bottom of the screen this season not say fucking football team? Can it say Washington? Come on now. It's ridiculous. We know it's the fucking football team. The name sounds ridiculous. My other thing is, I think Dan Snyder is probably going to announce the team name somewhere in the middle of the season so that they can start making fucking money on merchandise because Dan Snyder, come on, same owner. So let's.
All right, so Tim, thank you for your call, Tim. He's been a Washington football team for a long time, fan for a long time. He said he's in Maryland, that DMV area.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That DMV area, they love that Washington football team. They always have. They put football team across the bottom because that was their mascot, right? And that's one of the problems when you don't have a name or a mascot. You just got to live by football team, and some people think that's a little bit bland, a little bit boring, going to be tough to sell. Hour one wrapping up here in beautiful fashion with two good calls from Ernesto and Tim. Next hour, we got AJ Hawk, Ian Rappaport, the Toxic Table, the Hammer Down Boys, more of your phone calls. Hour two on this beautiful Thursday, August 19th, 2021. I'm live in the desert. The boys are live on the mics. The show's only going to get better and better. You have about 6 minutes to go take a shit and find some electricity because we're back on the other side.
A perennial Pro Bowler, an all-pro, a man who's aging like fine wines, Green Bay Packers legend, Super Bowl champion, from Butte, California, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers!
Please tell me that that's going to be a one-time thing.
What is the longest you've ever thrown?
Yeah, somewhere between 68 and 70, Pat. I don't know, right in that sweet spot.
69 yards is how far you threw it. Nice, congrats.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Of course you have, by the way. Of course you have.
With home!
That doesn't get you going for a game? Are you kidding me?
No, but I have a funny Creed story. So, in 2007, we're playing the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday night. We're 10-1. I have long hair. I'm a backup. And before the game, we walked down the field, and I don't know if it was on purpose, but our intro song was Creed with Arms Wide Open. I looked to my buddy Nate Weir, who AJ knows Nate really well, and we both said this is going to be a good night. And that was the night I came in off the bench and played pretty well and kind of changed the narrative about me from, possible draft bust to, hey, this guy might be able to play, maybe.
Thank you, Creed.
Yeah! My kids say, like, oh, if they see him on TV, oh, there's Uncle Aaron, look at that. Oh, Dad, is that Uncle Aaron's dog? I'm like, nah, it's a prop dog. They're like, well, what happens to that? I was like, oh, I think he has it killed after that.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Like, oh, no,
AJ.
I noticed this past Sunday, you were smiling, shaking hands, giving a lot of high fives to the boys on the side. What have you seen in this old footage that has rejuvenated your love? Or is it something else about this 2020 season that seems to have you just in a better headspace?
Why am I having so much fun?
Bingo.
I have just a new and increased love of life. And I've made decisions and changes and habits that put me in a lot better headspace. And there's just a lot of things that have come together in my life over the last few months that have really been enjoyable and reminded me, given me perspective on life and in football to view things through the most positive lens I possibly can. And that's why I'm having so much fun. And it starts with love. And then surround yourself with people that you really enjoy. This show is, to get sentimental, this show is just another step in that, because I love Age so much. And Pat, I have so much respect for you and the boys. Like, this was such a fun opportunity. And now I look forward to this every Tuesday.
I was told by Del Curry, Scottie Pippen struggles on a golf course, right?
Right.
I was told at that thing that I'm going against Scottie Pippen the next day, match play, heads up, one-on-one Scottie Pippen. So we decide, like, okay, we can probably have a couple drinks, stay at the casino a little bit longer than we should.
Representing the NFL out of the Shoeless Golf Club of America, Pat McAfee. His opponent, representing the NBA, Scottie Pippen.
You know what I mean? This guy's got 6 rings. Yeah. He's a fucking Hall of Famer. But today he's going to play against me. And then I start seeing Scottie hit some shots that are just like starting to come together. And I'm like, wait a fucking minute. I think I was lied to.
We were lied to yesterday. We were told Scottie Pippen was a terrible golfer. Bro, he's Scottie fucking Pippen.
Going in the back 9, I think I was down 1. Like, we were battling. But I started making putts. And Scottie Pippen went ahead and got real hot. I mean, real fucking hot. I was down 3 with 7 left. And I looked right in the camera, and I go,
so we're down 3 with like 7 holes left. Scottie Pippen's about to get this work.
Scottie Pippen from 190 yards out just fucking dunks it. Fucking boom, bang, and then walks up to the green, gets the ball, cameras on him, and he goes, Pippen ain't easy.
Kidding me. All right, down 4 with 6 left after Scottie Pippen just chips in from fucking 400 yards out.
I was fucking demoralized.
Pippen ain't easy.
By the way, best he's ever performed at golf, because I'm around, better teammate than Jordan.
Yep.
People forget. Oh, yeah, I told Del, I was like, Del, what the fuck you lying to me? He was like, well, I saw it yesterday. He was not great. And Greg Anthony told me, and I was like, Del, he buried me, Del Curry. He buried me. He was like, hey, Pippen ain't easy.
Yes, baby, it's time to celebrate.
Talking about a shotgun of beer after he had beat me, obviously. I like teach him how to do it.
Yeah, put a hole in there. It might spread a little bit, so.
Yeah.
So you're going to go here, and then you're going to open and flip up. Does that make sense? Congrats on winning the NBA a couple times, blah, 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 blah. And being an incredible golfer. Right, well, cheers. Appreciate it. Hey.
Damn.
Okay,
That's the
Scottie.
best Bud Light I ever had.
Hey, there's no stuck in here.
You right.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Beautiful Thursday, August 19th, 2021, years after zero. Hour 2 will begin immediately following this beat drop from Twine.
Nailed it! Wow!
Welcome back to the show. Hour 2 here on SiriusXM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio. And youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Joining us now is a man who represents Centerville, Ohio better than any human in the history. He's a college football national champion. He's a Super Bowl champion. He has a chin reminiscent of the Crimson Chin. Ladies and gentlemen, a guy who raises hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for good causes every other week of his life. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Hey, what's happening, man? How is it out there?
Cat got your tongue there early, dude. You everything all right?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was waiting on you. You want to go around the room and see how everybody's doing again?
No, I don't want to do that. We'll let the callers handle that. But I woke up this morning ready to debate you. I will let you know that.
Yeah.
I was excited. I'm like, you know what? Today,
wait.
big debate day with AJ Hawk.
Hell yeah. Thursday. That's what they say. Thursday is debate day here at PMS.
Well, we like to throw it back to what sports talk's supposed to be. Sports talk's supposed to be two bland whites yelling at each other, telling them they're wrong.
Yeah, we got it. Let's get right in that groove, man.
You see Max Kellerman's out at First Take. Is that real or not?
What happened? Did something happen, or they acted like it was to have him do other projects?
I don't know. Yeah, they say, hey, he'll be on ESPN Radio more. He'll be doing a little bit more of this. He's got his own boxing show. I think it's called Max on Boxing or something like that. But First Take with Stephen A., the highest paid guy at ESPN. That's the show, right? Are they just moving them out? They said they're going to put a couple different people in there. Are they trying out a bunch of people? Are they maybe making a big signing to battle against Stephen A. every day? Molly's allegedly sticking around. What's going on at First Take, AJ? Are you potentially going in there? You love debate.
AJ. I mean, if their producers or whoever's making decisions over there know anything about me, they know that is kind of my wheelhouse. Like, I want to debate, and I want to debate every topic too, because I feel very passionately about most everything that is spoken about on TV.
Ty, where the fuck has Zubin been?
Thank you.
Yeah, we've been asking for quite some time. I think Zubin was dealing with some difficulties related to diabetes. They've kind of just strung him along, though. His name's still on the show. He's not really on it anymore. But that is what was interesting with Kellerman, too, is I'm pretty sure the initial, revamped ESPN radio lineup, he had his own show. And I think they shit-canned that as well. I don't know if it was recently or if it happened a while ago, but they're saying he is going to slide into Zubin's role potentially on Keyshawn and Jay Williams in the morning.
Okay, so that's why I obviously asked that. I knew that was the plan.
Yep.
Of course.
Right.
That's why I asked that. I'm really piecing it together. I did all my research. So then who do they put in there with Stephen A? Are they going to pay Skip that $8.5 million? They planned on doing it before he went to Fox?
It's Sacho's time.
They said it was a rotating cast. They said it's a very short walk from Get Up over to First Take.
Yep.
So whoever's basically on Get Up, we know, as Gumpy just said, it's time for Sacho.
Dano.
That's what I was about to say. I've never been invited over to the First Take set, although I have been at the Get Up set numerous times. It is a rather short walk. I've never been able to open those doors and see where the magic of First Take is. But Dan Orlovsky seems to be the battling counterpart to basically anything, right? At this point, is this Orlovsky's job? Is Orlovsky now? Is it his job to lose? What other person's going to get in there and get actually pissed about their feelings against Stephen A? It has to be somebody like Dan Orlovsky, right, AJ?
Yeah. I think Dan sounds perfect for that gig. Yeah, I would assume they're going to rotate some people through early to see who does best or who's most comfortable. But do you think Max wanted to leave the show? Does he have any say in this?
I don't know why Max would want to leave this.
No way.
I'm not speaking. Me and Max have never met. I've never chatted with Max. Max, I watch Max on the television do his thing or whatever, and He has some interesting thoughts, if those are his genuine thoughts, obviously. But I'd imagine you're not trying to get out of First Take with Stephen A. at ESPN. I don't know, unless you're trying to just get in Stephen A.'s world on ESPN Plus full time. I am not 100%. Maybe this is a build for ESPN Plus, though. Maybe they're giving Max more work because of how good he has done on First Take. Maybe he is seeing this as a compliment, as a up the workload a little bit.
I don't know if that's a good idea because no one watches any of that shit on ESPN Plus. Their original programming. Outside of Peyton's Places, no one's watching any of those fucking shows. Period. Sorry, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but no one's fucking watching them.
You remember when they pitched me? Listen to this, AJ. They wanted me to do a show that I would record from midnight to 2 a.m. every day. All right? I would get highlights.
You would record it? Wait, it wasn't live that time? Why would you record it at midnight?
Well, because it was after all the games were played. So after all the games are played for the day, I record a wrap-up show, only seen on ESPN Plus, but I get highlights. We'll give you $60 a day or whatever you do this, and it'll be great. You'll have the time of your life, Yeah, ESPN Plus, obviously with the bundle with Disney, Dom Batista's telling us about. It'll be massive. It'll be a catapult for your career, I was told. I was like, all right, well, you can fuck off. I'm not doing that.
But they they don't promote any of that shit on there. If you go to ESPN Plus, if you go to the app, the only thing that people are using that is like if games are blacked out in your area or if there's a game on ESPN Plus that's not available anywhere. Like you have to fucking dive
UFC
through
is its biggest thing. Yeah, I think UFC is probably the biggest thing on ESPN Plus.
For sure.
That article did say that they might kind of turn First Take into Stephen A's world, probably because nobody's watching Stephen A's world on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, Stephen A's world might be good. Nobody's seen it.
What is that?
Peyton's Places, though, is what's that? Go ahead, AJ.
What exactly is Stephen A's world?
He just does a bunch of shit. He just does a bunch of different things. It's basically he does a sports variety show. That's just a debate show. If they feel as if all that is good and it's not being seen by anybody because nobody's really going to ESPN Plus for their day-to-day, only going for events or blacked out games, like Peyton's Places, let's get that shit on ESPN as well then, because
for sure.
That thing is unbelievably well done.
Yeah, it's so good. It's incredible. Yeah. But I wonder, do you think that's probably going to take a little bit of a back seat if they're doing this new Monday Night Football thing, right? Like, I don't know if they're in talks to have another season of Peyton's Places yet. I mean, I'm sure ESPN would do whatever to make sure that happens, but if he's committed to this Monday Night Football thing, I don't know. I think that kind of goes on the back burner.
All right, honest question here, and this is going to go to Connor.
Okay.
Connor, you love the NBA. Obviously, we're all big Kobe Bryant, Mamba mentality fans here. Did you ever watch The Detail on ESPN Plus by him? Have you gone in there and watched? That seems like something that I have never even thought about watching, but maybe it's because it was on ESPN Plus. That's why I'm never in there.
Yeah, I mean, I love basketball. I'm a little jaded towards ESPN, but I have gone in once to watch Detail. It is pretty good. It was the Jason Tatum episode, so that's really the only reason I went in there. And it's good, but I mean, nobody's, going onto their TV like, oh, ESPN Plus. What came out today from ESPN Plus? I think that's the biggest problem that is happening with Stephen A's world, and that's why they're doing Stephen A versus the world as the First Take thing. I think that was the name of the show idea they were thinking of in that 10 o'clock slot.
Oh, so a bunch of random pissed off people are coming in to debate Stephen A on different topics. Hey, if it's a sports football thing, we'll bring in football students to debate. If it's basketball, we'll bring basketball students in to debate. If it's vaccinations, we'll bring a politician in to debate. Is that what Stephen A is going to be doing? He's just going to be debating everybody out there?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll bring in a politician. They'll probably just bring in Stink. But they also, I think for basketball, we're going to bring in Perk. I think Perkins, this is going to be a big Kendrick Perkins push, probably lead into a carry-on show, if I had to guess.
Hey, carry the hell on. I hope they do great. I can't wait to see who Stephen A is burying. Max Kellerman has done a great job doing that for the past couple years. Now, joining us is a man who maybe could hop in there and get buried. I'm not sure if he would be up for the gig or not. Knows more about all the things we like to know about than everybody else on earth. Senior NFL insider for the NFL at NFL Network and NFL.com, and the host of the show that is currently on hiatus because we think it's been canceled, Rap Sheet and Friends. For his weekly Rap Sheet wrap-up, ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport. What's going on, man? You got any inside information on who's going to be debating Stephen A over there at ESPN?
I do not.
The only inside information I had at ESPN was when Robert Griffin III was going there, which I was very happy to put out on Twitter because that was just a fun one. Plus, he's going to be really, really good. But I don't have any good Stephen A. info. Max Kellerman and I did go to the same school. So that's, I mean,
roommates.
We're both people. That's basically what we have in common. So.
Well, I've been going to the same school, both being humans. That's a lot in common, more than I have with Max Kellerman. I mean, we're both humans, did not go to the same school, and, not in the whole journalism world. But let's move on and let's talk football here. This week, it seems like not a lot happened besides from all the fights everywhere. You might be getting a text right now telling us differently, but is there any big news stories of the week in your eyes from the NFL, Ian?
I would say, well, there was one, which was the Jamal Adams contract extension, big deal, kind of ending that saga. Actually pulled me off the golf course earlier in this week to make sure my phone didn't die so I could put that out. It was tough, but honestly, I ended up persevering and getting it. So that was a very nice moment, and nice for him too. He got $70 million. Just now, a couple minutes ago, Carl Lawson, the big money pass rusher for the Jets, was just carted off at practice. Seems like a lower leg injury. I don't know the severity. But being carted off from practice in a lot of pain with your teammates kneeling around you is never good news. And obviously for the Jets, this was one of their big money, big time guys who has been awesome, one of their best players in practice. So that's something we will keep an eye on, and potentially may have some news depending on how long we'll be on this show right here.
Hey, what are you hearing about not only Saquon Barkley but Joe Burrow, two guys coming back from knee injuries? We've heard Burrow talk about his little struggles early in camp. Maybe have you heard that these guys are progressing, going to be fine?
We'll start with Burrow because I remember when I kind of first came into this, I was covering Tom Brady with the Patriots, and he was coming off an ACL, similarly serious contact type injury, and I remember my first month on the beat, Brady did not look like himself. And I was like, what are all these people talking? And I'd covered colleges, I'd covered Alabama, and I didn't know enough, honestly, to be covering the Patriots. So I remember looking at Brady, and I'm like, this is Tom Brady? Because he didn't look like himself. And it probably took, I'd say, 4 or 5 weeks for him to get back in the groove and, look like Tom Brady again. And so if you told me that Joe Burrow, coming off a serious injury,
here we go.
Can I call you guys back?
No!
I'll call you right back.
Wow.
Did he answer when I said, is it something big? I couldn't hear anything. Did he say yeah?
It seemed big because
he said, I'll call you right back.
Yeah, he said, I'll call you right back.
Yeah.
Okay, because his eyes, they went to a screen and then back down very quickly, and then mid-sentence, I'm out of here. What happened? Somebody get fined? Another fight happen? Did somebody get hurt? Is it Carl Lawson?
It's not a fine. There's no way it's a fine.
Maybe. Did you see what Antonio Brown did to a guy down there in Tennessee? Yeah. Hey, Antonio Brown. These fights have been happening, AJ. You and I have been on this side for a long time. You in the game, me just watching a lot of these practices. There was 5 fights whenever we came on to the show at the Titans Buccaneers practice today, just today, 5 of them. They have Rams Raiders, they're brawling. I mean, everybody's fighting right now. This is training camp, baby. Training camp's happening, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, they're in the thick of it and they're practicing together. So wait, did the Bucs Titans have 5 themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they didn't cancel practice or anything? Usually you'll at least, all right, we're splitting up for the rest of the day.
No, Vrabes had a big old dip, and he said, let these boys keep fighting. And then B.A. said, fuck, I don't care. Yeah, fucking let them. He drove his golf cart off. Vrabel went running down the road and said, yeah, fuck, they'll fight all night. Probably had 10 cigarettes, couple beers in there entire time. Goes into the team meeting. Afterwards, he goes, you guys fucking happy? Huh? 6 fights? That make you feel good? Make you feel tough? Not a one of you back down, though, which is what I like. That's why I want you on my team. That's probably what Vrabel said. Antonio Brown got into it with a corner. He got sent off the field, and then he came back out. That was like the 4th fight, I think, of the day. And there is some pictures coming out now. Antonio Brown, Myles Garrett, did old buddy, took his helmet off of him, okay? And then he landed a left jab right to the jaw. And if you do recall when Antonio Brown was going through his life saga shit, and he was going to box somebody, and Antonio Brown's going to get his ass beaten. I remember saying, like, hey, Antonio Brown's one of the most explosive athletes on earth. Let's assume, go back to that other one.
Ooh.
Hey, let's assume that if Antonio Brown wants to learn how to box and fight, he's going to be able to figure it out. He's quicker than you. He works his ass off, and he's an explosive athlete. I think he did have a good left hand there. I don't know if he knocked old buddy out, but what a fucking punch there. Anytime you have your helmet off at training camp and the scrum's happening, big-time nightmare situation, and AB landed one. It seems right on the button, if I had to
It's
guess.
super rare.
What's that?
Sorry, but think how rare it is to land that clean in a fight in a training camp. Usually it's tough to get a good shot with anybody, let alone he has his helmet off, and you land completely solid. And AB's a lefty, too, so that's his power shot.
So just like Jake Paul told us that Floyd hit him with an uppercut clean on his eye after that got your hat situation, and he didn't get knocked out, he went and told his brother, he said, hey, he hit me clean. I didn't even feel it except for this black guy. I'll be excited to hear what the other guy said with Antonio Brown, who seems to have connected rather clean with the jaw there in a football fight. Normally, uppercuts are trying to happen because that's where potentially open. People are trying to get them in the Adam's apple, but whenever you're doing that, you got shoulder pads involved. The helmet is obviously not fun. That's why those scrums normally become just a big old situation.
Yeah. I mean, are they still in the field, do we know, right now?
There's no way. I mean, they had like an hour and a half on the field 2 hours ago.
Oh, okay. No, so they're done. Well, are they scheduled to practice together tomorrow?
Probably all the way up until their game, which is...
So
Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, one of the two.
So maybe one more day of practices, unless they're done. This is the last day. Tom Brady's talking about who he was potentially referring to in that motherfucker because he was asked. I didn't even think that it could potentially be Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, yeah.
But Boston Connor and the internet are sold after what happened yesterday in the press conference that Tom Brady was referring to Ryan Tannehill when he said that motherfucker. Listen to this exchange, AJ, and we'll talk on the other side of this. No, Connor has some very strong feelings about it.
I like Ryan a lot. He's a great player. So he's obviously a great year for that team, and he's done a great job. Last year was phenomenal, and before that he was great. So I really like Ryan. Competed against him a lot. He's beaten me quite a few times, so I think he's a great player.
But he wasn't that MF'er in the shop.
Did you say MF'er earlier?
Yeah, he wasn't that MF'er.
Oh, was Ryan?
Yeah.
No, Ryan wasn't. Ryan's a great guy. No, I like Ryan. I was just talking.
Tom, how'd this stuff?
I personally don't even think that he even thought of Ryan Tannehill potentially being that motherfucker. Personally, that's why I think whenever he heard the question, his reaction was like, "Oh, Ryan, no." But Connor, who has watched Thomas Edward, Patrick Brady, the seconds, every single move his entire life, sold that it's Tannehill. Is that right, Connor?
1,000%. He's him saying, "Oh, Ryan," like they hadn't been talking about Tannehill the entire time. He had to play that off. He had a little gesture movement, a little uncomfortable, it seems. And by the way, you think it's a coincidence that they're asking about Tannehill being that motherfucker and Brady probably telling the team, "Hey, this is the team that said no to me, and that's why I'm here. So let's go out there and beat their fucking ass. And if they want to fight, we'll fight and we'll give it right back to him." I am 1,000% convinced, especially because the Titans beat Brady the last time he played for New England. So he probably thought to himself on that sideline, man, they got Derrick Henry, they got a great O-line. Mike Vrabel's like my best friend. I love that guy to death. He's my son's favorite player. I want to go play for the Titans next year. They'll let me go over there. Tannehill beat me 4 times with the Dolphins, but the Dolphins get us damn near every year. So they'll definitely let me over there. And then all of a sudden, Vrabel gives him a massive contract. Brady's sitting there with his dick in his hand, and he's basically just like, you know what? Screw the Titans. I'll go to the NFC, and I'll go to the Super Bowl. And we act like, oh, well, Tannehill's good. Every quarterback in the NFL is below Brady when you think about who he is. So everybody could be that motherfucker, but especially a guy like Ryan Tannehill, who's the quarterback for his best friend's team.
So, AJ, that's what I'm saying, that I didn't think it was Tannehill at all, and then Connor's first reaction was that to me this morning, that it was definitely him. He lays out a compelling case, AJ, a compelling argument, though.
He does, and his argument does make some sense. I don't know everything he was saying, but just watching the video of Tom made me suspect. Am I cutting out again?
No.
No.
Oh,
Why?
what's going
You're
on?
just saying how uncomfortable he got when the question.
Yeah,
Ryan
well, he
was
said
asked?
what I noticed early on. I'm going to watch that again too. When he said like, "Oh, was he that MFer?" The guy said, and Tom pauses, and he's like, "You can't say M. Could you say MFer?" Like you just kind of change the subject almost.
Yes,
shy away
So
from
you-
what like we're talking about.
So you think he was trying to delay his answer, defer his answer by putting the attention back on the question? In my eyes, I thought Tom was like, Ryan. I thought he was like taken back almost about that even being referenced. But
Yeah, I think he wanted either he truly was like taken back, like no, or he's a really good actor. Because if I was lying, that's probably how I would handle it. Like, what? Oh no, like, you don't really have an answer.
Tom Brady is an incredible actor. Somebody said back in the office in the studio. Who was that?
Oh, me. You didn't see him in Ted 2? He was probably one of the best actors in that entire movie franchise series.
Yeah, and I think that
Yeah, when they're trying to
Entourage too,
steal
right?
his jizz. Is that
Yes, when they're trying to steal his jizz, he threw the football at him, or Ted at Mark Wahlberg. It was hysterical.
What?
You don't remember
what
that,
the
AJ?
fuck just happened?
I don't know what's
So I gotta-
happening right now.
I got a couple text messages here. I think so. I got this new laptop because my phone is what I'm FaceTiming on. So I got this new laptop that has the capability. It's obviously one that Steve Jobs thought of or whatever, you know. So my phone's connected. I get text messages on here, but it's just phone numbers. I don't have all the names for some reason, whatever it is. So I think Ian just said, "We'll come back as soon as I can. Apologies."
Ooh,
Big news.
Good guy.
Has he
Then
posted anything
also-
yet?
No,
Then
he has
also
not.
here, yeah. So what's happening? Wale's people just called.
Huh.
Wale's on the show. Is that?
Supposed to be at 1:35, I guess. I don't know. I just got a call from like his manager.
So that was you sending that text.
Yeah, the dirty 630.
630 number.
Yeah, dirty 630.
What's he
So what are-
promoting?
Is Wale on?
Do you want him on or no?
Sure. I mean,
All right.
Wale's. I did not know Wale was going to be on today. Though.
Me
I don't think
neither.
that was ever confirmed.
That was a left jab out of nowhere.
Fucking Wale, dude. You know who Wale is, AJ?
I'll make the call.
Yeah, of course. Should be sweet, man. I wonder, does he have like a Mike Tyson grill or something? I mean, George Foreman?
No, he's got some new music coming out, AJ. I mean,
No,
Okay,
he's
good.
already
That's
got
awesome.
new music out, actually, and it's a banger. The one song, I forget what it's called, Southern something. It's very good. He's in the D.C. area. Let's assume he's a football team fan, and he's a big wrestling fan. SummerSlam's around the corner. I don't know what we're going to talk to him about, but I'm pumped about it.
Yeah, I am too. I hope we start having like different musicians coming on here that are promoting new albums and stuff. That'd be sweet, I think.
It would be sweet. It would 100% be sweet. I think you're kind of throwing a little shade on Wale potentially coming on right now.
You
and I wanna
definitely
let you know.
Absolutely not.
No, yeah, you are.
Yeah, you
I promise
are.
you,
You
I
are.
am not.
You are.
Button
I mean,
it up, dude.
One
Button
time.
it up.
Ty, did you tighten up, dude? Ty, did you know Wale was fucking coming on the show? Or?
I did not. I saw it was in there, but I do recall it was never confirmed nor denied, so I don't know what the hell's going on right now.
The time was
Okay,
also definitely 2:30.
Okay, so Wale coming on. Sorry about that, Connor. He's got a new song called Dahn Sauce, featuring Yella Beezy and Maxo Cream, dude. And when
Maxo!
when Maxo Cream gets on the track, everybody knows like that's a dream, like crack. You know what I mean? I mean, Maxo Dream really goes ham on the beat. We'll talk to Wale here in a few minutes. AJ Hawk, I know you're excited. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers' press conference with Bob Domofsky as well. I don't think we've gotten your take on that. Bob Domofsky asking that question was beautiful, good comedy. And then Aaron saying, Bob, Jesus, is just great. You think this is how it's going to be all year? You think people are going to potentially – I'm getting a call now from Rappaport on my phone. All right.
He did tweet.
Will somebody call him back then? Why is he
calling him right
FaceTiming
now.
me? When
did
you
he
call
tweet?
Rap Zito, what is happening?
I mean, I'm just sitting here solo. I have no clue what's happening.
So Rapport just FaceTimed me, We'll wait for him. Let's FaceTime him back. Wale's manager just called Zito in the middle of the show to get on. We'll have him on in about 10, 15 minutes or so. Rappaport, welcome back. What happened? What did we miss?
Yeah, so apologies for that, guys. So Carl Lawson, who's one of the Jets' big free agent signings and one of the best players on the field for them all camp, is going to have an MRI on his Achilles in a matter of minutes. This is according to me and my colleague Mike Garafolo. He was carted off. There has been no firm diagnosis. Obviously, if they are MRIing the Achilles, it is not good. He heard a pop, according to Garafolo, also not good. We'll get you more as we know it, but, this is, I think, for the Jets, an area they addressed in free agency with a player they love, and then to have him go down with a potentially serious injury, not very good. Not very good.
That's Ian Rappaport reporting, senior NFL insider at NFL.com and NFL Network. Your tweet read as such: Jets pass rusher Carl Lawson wanted to be having an MRI on the Achilles for him, and if it's torn, Lawson would be out for the season. This isn't normally the Achilles isn't like, hey, we'll give an MRI so we can figure out what's potentially happened. I don't think there is a lot going on in the Achilles for you to have to go in and figure out what happened. If he heard a pop, absolutely devastating, not only for the Jets but also to Carl Lawson. T's and P's as that thing heals up. Let's go. We were talking as you got interrupted and left on some NFL news there, not just Carl Lawson, but what else is popping off around the NFL that we need to keep an eye on? Obviously, the Jamal Adams deal got done. What's the next kind of domino to fall in place in your eyes, you think, of these stories that have been lingering here for the last couple of weeks, Ian?
Yeah, to me, Deshaun Watson is still out there. And, his Rusty Harden was in the news yesterday giving a press conference explaining why people are getting calls from the FBI, how Watson is not under investigation by the FBI, but instead they're looking at apparently an extortion case involving one of his accusers. This according to the lawyer, sort of contradicting what Busby had said the other day. The Deshaun Watson situation you'd think would hopefully be settled before the season in some form or fashion. I know there are teams that would still want to trade for him. It seems the Texans are at least listening. If he hasn't been practicing, today he was on a separate field with a trainer doing lunges. It's all very strange, but at some point they're going to cut down to the 53-man roster. And, what are they going to do with their starting quarterback who's now their fourth-string quarterback? So I imagine something will happen around or before cutdown day. I don't know for sure what it is, but, again, I do know teams are interested in trading for him.
But what about the NFL? Aren't they going to, I assume they're investigating. Have you heard anything? What kind of timeline would they have? Even if he clears it up, say, the start of the season, would Goodell come down with something before, I don't know, how long does that take?
Yeah, if he is suspended, it's possible it would end up being the season. But, the legal stuff always takes so much longer than you think, right? Because the NFL, for instance, hasn't talked to Deshaun yet, right? They will, but they haven't yet. So usually he's last. So when he talks to them, that will probably be, probably be the last domino there. There's a legal situation, there's a civil situation, then there's a league situation. Not everyone is talking to everyone, but these things take time. So there is actually a possibility this will be unsettled this entire season. I would also say that, the fact that the NFL has not put him on the commissioner's exempt list makes me think that they are not going to. So whatever is going to happen to Deshaun Watson is probably going to be on the football field before we get to all the other stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how that gets settled before anything could happen in the next 21 days before the season starts. That is...
Agreed.
There's a lot. We've been saying that since the beginning, but the fact that people are still interested is absolutely insane to me. Let's go up to Buffalo, the home of Buffalo wings. Oh, they're delicious. The Anchor Bar, Bills Mafia. Oh, my God. One of the most passionate fan bases in any sport, let alone just the NFL. They will brave winter and do insane things to support their team. They'll throw... dildos on the field to let everybody know that they're potentially getting fornicated over by the refs. They are a city and a team that seem to be on the same page more than anywhere else. Josh Allen.
I'm sorry. Was that why they threw the adult play toy or whatever?
Yeah, it was an armadillo, okay? 3-footer, double-sided. The reason why I was throwing, I think, because they were getting screwed on both ends. I'm not 100% sure. The drunk that threw it from Bills Mafia probably has a much better reason. That's what I thought it was. But nonetheless,
Wow, that makes
the
sense.
Bills Mafia and the Bills seem to be on the same page, more so than everywhere else. Josh Allen is the perfect representation of Buffalo, it feels like. Hardworking guy from a small town. They're leaving Buffalo. Everybody's saying they're going to Austin. Brandon Beane was on the show last week. General manager, he said, we love Buffalo. We can't wait for the future in Buffalo. Is this all leverage right here? They're saying they want $1 billion from Buffalo and New York, or they're out of there. How's this going to pan out?
Yeah, I mean, it feels to me. Let me say this: if it is leverage, it would be like most of these stadium situations. Like in very few instances does, hey, let's maybe move to Austin, get floated, and then it actually happens. Now, we did have a couple teams move to LA. I would say that would be, a little bit different. But it feels to me like just a way to tell Buffalo, hey, like, if you don't want us, we got some other places. Now, would Jerry Jones allow another team in Texas? I am not so sure about that. Because remember, there was talk at some point about San Antonio, and I don't know that Jerry Jones would really want another team in Texas. I think Texas is the Cowboys, and he would probably make sure that, and he's got enough power to step in and say, yeah, I think I'm going to have my say here. So we could talk about Austin, which I do love. Austin's a great place. I don't know I don't know how real it is right now. I also know that, like a lot of owners, they're trying to get the city to foot some of the bill. And the best way to do that is to make sure that the city, make sure the city thinks you might be able to leave.
Yeah, you got to hold them hostage. Hold their happiness hostage. That's what you got to do. It was alleged that Irsay would get a helicopter and fly over L.A. whenever he was trying to get a new stadium in Indianapolis, and then all of a sudden, boom, Lucas Oil Stadium got put up like the next week, and I think there's only like a year-to-year rental fee that Jim has to pay. The team brings so much to the city. The teams know that, I don't know how I feel whenever you ask for public money and it's a private business and there's billions. That thing can get ugly. I hope Buffalo remains the home of the Bills because it's a beautiful thing. Last question before we let you go, break some more news. Ian, I think it comes from Connor about tonight's big-time preseason game, Patriots-Eagles. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, massive game tonight, rap sheet. Can we expect Mac Jones to start tonight, or are we going to have the same song and dance with Cam Newton doing 2 series and everyone just waiting for Mac and then everyone cheering way harder when he comes in?
I liked all the reports this week. I think it was my friend Tom Curran who said it's not actually Mac versus Cam, it's Mac versus Mac. So he's competing against himself for the starting quarterback job. I think it's probably going to be Cam. No, it's the Patriots, so who knows? But I think it's probably going to be Cam starts, plays a little bit, and then Mac Jones. I will say this. As good as he looked last week, I know it's the preseason. I know. Every time I talk about the preseason, I have to say it's the preseason. But he looked together. The Patriots look like they got someone who's pretty. Now, I've been fooled before. Garofalo and Pelissero last week when it was when Trey Lance was throwing bombs in the preseason. Were just sending me all my old tweets about great preseason performances. There's a couple great Ryan Mallett tweets in there. There's a couple of Gabbert tweets, I believe, as well. So I'm always a little
Super Bowl
cautious.
champion.
Yeah, that's right.
Super Bowl champion, Blake Gabbert. You were right with what you said. If you said he was great, that guy's an absolute killer on the field.
Some teams, sure.
But
anyway,
Jacksonville sucked the life out of the guy. What the fuck was he supposed to do for the Jaguars?
He went to the title game with Jacksonville. I was a fan. Then they gave him that little extension. I thought that was a nice deal. Anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, Blaine Gabbert, I got a chance to meet him. He's a guy, by the way, you would want to hang out with. I've seen him, at his best and at his most loose, which I think the whole world has. I love Blaine Gabbert. I think different situation, a lot better. He's a Super Bowl champion. I didn't know it was your Ryan Mallett tweets that had the internet attack me when I said Mac Jones doesn't appear that he's going to stink. They're like, it's the same thing we said about Ryan Mallett, blah, blah, blah. It's Patriots hate syndrome. They got to do what they got to do. Can't wait to watch that.
Now,
thank you so much.
It's tough to hate Mac Jones. I will say that. He is a good dude. And you would like to have a beer or two with that guy.
Hell yeah.
That.
Hey, I've seen him after a couple beers. His photos aren't great, but I do know, mine neither. You know what I mean? Mine neither. Ladies and gentlemen.
Mine neither.
Yeah, insider for the NFL, Ian Rappaport. Thank you. Okay, so we have to get to a break because I believe we got Wale coming on after.
Okay.
Woo! I genuinely have no idea how this is supposed to go. But I'm going to ask him this entire time. Well, I think the goal is for him to make a remix to 90210 is a song he made back in the day. Basically, it's a really good song, but I think if he was to remix it and re-release it now, it would be huge. We'll talk to Wale about everything going on in his life, the new album, the new songs that he just dropped called Down South. Down South, obviously.
Yeah.
And Angles, another song he put out very recently.
Yeah. What's the angle?
What's the angle? Summer Slams this weekend. Washington football team. I mean, this is going to be maybe the peak of this show, AJ Hawk. 4 minutes from now, Wale will be joining us. And your phone call is 1-833-4-McAfee. It's the Pat McAfee Show on SiriusXM and YouTube. See you in 4.
Couple people, one college kid, took a shot at my swag.
We noticed. We know. We don't like that
I don't think a lot of people understand what swag is. You know, some of this younger generation thinks, swag is just like the clothes I wear or whatever. No. Swag is a mentality. Yeah. Swag is a mindset. I try to tell this to some of the guys in the locker room this week. I said swagger, which is what swag comes from. Swagger is a mindset. Swagger isn't that you have a Supreme backpack on. Or that you have your shoes, unlaced walking around with, you got your new Louis fanny pack that you make sure it's not worn at your waist, it's worn over your shoulder. That's not swag. That's not swagger. That's fashion choices. True swag is owning your inner essence. It's a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And my essence on the field is that I feel like I'm a throwback player and I'm a tough guy. What I've played through, how I wear my stuff, I'm kind of a no-nonsense, straightforward. To me, that's what swag is all about.
You're damn
all
right.
this like fake swag out there. I got my special towel. I got this. I got that. I got this writing out there. A lot of you guys are just posers.
All right. I have a surprise, obviously. That's what this show is all about. We have boots on the ground in Cleveland, who I assume knew this was going to happen all along. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Cleveland, Mr. Jason Glazer. Your thoughts on Kyle Pitts to Atlanta, fine sir? Oh, there's a delay.
Well, first and foremost, Pat, I'd like to say, hey, listen, thanks for having me. Cleveland is beautiful this time of year. Granted, it does smell like a mixture of poop and diarrhea and sewage.
Jesus.
It doesn't smell great down here.
Jesus.
But I'll tell you what, 27 years in this thing, I fucking live for the draft. Love being down here. Love being into Cleveland. But yeah, Kyle Pitts, listen. What do you want me to say? I knew this 2 weeks ago.
Really?
I mean, do we need to do this whole fucking song and dance?
Okay.
I'll give you guys 1 through 32 if you want to know. Do you want to have fun?
That's nice.
You want to not know who's going? But yeah, I had this 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm wondering is if the guy you had in your studio, Mad Mel Kiper, I know that sorry son of a bitch didn't have this 2 weeks ago.
Mike's not plugged in.
Yes, I did. I actually just explained it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
No,
I
you
did.
didn't. No, you
Yes, I
didn't.
did.
No,
I
you
had
didn't.
this.
I did.
Yeah,
I
no,
did.
no, you
I
didn't.
did. You
I
didn't.
had this.
I
I
did.
had
You
it.
didn't.
Trust me. Can
You
I
didn't.
talk for Christ's sake?
Okay, fine, yeah.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
talk? Okay,
Go ahead.
yeah. Like I said, Kyle Pitts,
No, you didn't.
unbelievable talent.
No, you didn't. You didn't fucking
Yes,
have
I
it. No, you
did.
didn't.
You
You're a
said
sad sack of shit,
Jason.
Kiper. I know it. I looked at your mock draft.
Jason, please relax. Oh my God. Had no idea it was going to get like that. Sorry about that, Mad Mel. Obviously, there's a little bit of content there. He's saying you don't know your ass for a fucking hole in the ground, though, Mad Mel. How do you feel about that from Jason Glazer live in Cleveland?
Well, classic move. Glazer looks like he's getting ready to go to a goddamn titty bar or something like that. I mean, dress up, pal. It's the NFL draft. Look at me. I'm dressed to the nines. You look like an asshole. I mean, get him out of here, can we? I mean, is he going to stick around? Can we get him the hell out of here?
I think his microphone's still on. Jay, can you hear us? Jay, is everything good back there?
Listen, fuck you guys. I'm out of here. I'm going over to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm going to hang out with Dee Snider and Twisted Sister.
Are you serious? Okay, Jason, sorry. Thank you so and ladies and gentlemen, Jason Glazer.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Every day is game day for these guys. It's showtime on the Pat McAfee Show.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 2 here on this Thursday, August 19th, 2021, years after zero. AJ's here. The Hammer Down Boys are here. The Toxic Table back in Indianapolis. And joining us, quite a surprise. I am very excited about this. Ladies and gentlemen, recording artist stud, lyrical genius, lyricist, big-ass brain, new song, Down South and Angles are out now. Ladies and gentlemen, Wale.
Yeah!
Hey, Down South slang and hanging with these hustlers. Absolute banger, man. I love whenever you go and put in work and release new music. I hope you continue to do this forever. How did it feel to get in there with Angles and Down South, and how's the ride at this stage of your career?
It feel good, man. You know, it feel good to be outside, literally. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm just getting back in the mix.
This weekend, obviously, SummerSlam. Had a chance to see you at Rolling Loud. You came out with the Street Profits. You actually do Big E's intro song, though, which is a banger. I think that was a miss on our part there. How did your relationship with the WWE come to be? And will you be at SummerSlam this weekend?
Started off with my guy, Neil Lowy, who does the music over there. You know, he always looks out for me. But I'm headed to Vegas today, actually.
Me too, man. What do you got any performances out there?
I'm having a party, but the check ain't clear yet, so I don't know where it's at. I'll post it this afternoon for sure.
That's amazing. What we know you're from the DC area, right? Are you a Washington fan? And what do you think about this?
Of course.
What do you think about the names, man? Do you have an idea what you want?
Man, I saw what they said is like the last like 2 or 3 options. I don't know. I'm not crazy about them, but it's going to take some getting used to regardless. You know what I mean?
Did you like the Washington football team? It kind of became catchy last season.
It did. It really did. Like I like football club. I like football team. It's like sophisticated. You know what I mean? But you know they're gonna let their jokes fly. I'm sure the Dolphins sounded crazy at first. You know?
Well, the Pelicans are still a team name, you know?
You said what?
The Pelicans are still a team name.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, everything ain't got to be, you know, we sophisticated. We the Washington football team. We a football team. Y'all not Bears for real. Are you a cult? No, you're a part of a football team. That's what we are.
We're talking to Wale. Just found out, big Washington football team fan. We should have known that, obviously, from the D.C. area. Hey, almost got a playoff win over Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year with Heineke.
He made something special happen. That we gave Tom his hardest challenge in the playoffs. You know, that would have been a really, really big upset because we won like 7-9 last year. They ain't had no tape on Heineke though. They ain't had no tape on Heineke, so he was giving them problems.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody in the NFC East stunk last year. You guys stunk the least. There's a chance that the Washington football team goes on a run, Wale. They need a banger, though. Can we not get a Washington football team just theme song maybe from Wale, or they don't have enough money?
It might be in the tuck. It might be in the tuck already.
Ooh. Whoa! I like this. You're a lyricist, big-ass brain. You know, Ambition is a motivating song. Every time you kind of get in there and write, good things happen. When did you know this was going to be your future? Have you been doing this your whole life?
Man, you know, I played football in college at Robert Morris up in Western Pennsylvania. Like, you know, and I was always, like, even in high school, I was always rapping with different bands and doing my thing. And then when I transferred to Virginia State, you know, I got into a situation with the coach, and then I just was like, you know what? Let me just go to my local college and just see what I can do with the music stuff in it. And it popped off, you know. I remember I skipped my finals to go meet Jay-Z. when he was at Def Jam. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm done with this school shit.
Hey, nice. Were you meeting Jay-Z? What was that? What you expected? And also, how'd you find a way to separate yourself? I think we all know a lot of people that'll write lyrics and they say they're writing songs and everything, or even like screenwriters, and they can't like break through. How'd you break through?
I mean, I just kind of stuck true to myself. It was heavy on the gangster rap, like when I was trying to break through, and I just stuck to myself. And I had a fan base just off of like the sneaker culture and stuff like that. And I just had my own wave. And I think Jay and Mark Ronson and them, they took a liking to that. And then I had like the biggest record on the radio back home, and this was like, I don't know, 2004 or something like that.
What was the song?
It was a go-go record. It was called Dig Dug, and it was just tearing up the clubs. And then I did my rap stuff on the side, like the hardcore, lyrical stuff too. So I just stuck to my guns.
It's worked out. I appreciate what your brain has brought into my life throughout different periods. Whenever you decide I'm going to be a rapper full time and I'm going to kind of commit to this, that's a massive decision. Was there any time where you thought you made the wrong move? Have you gotten sick of any of the business at all? Have you hated the business at times?
Every day. This ain't, fame is not for the weak. You know what I'm saying? Like, gotta have thick skin. You know what I'm saying? But from time to time, I'll be like, man, could I have been Elon Musk? You know what I'm saying? Could I have done something like, invented something, or got into film earlier or whatever? I question it from time to time.
You smoke massive amounts of marijuana?
Yes, it's legal.
I'm in a state where it's legal as well. Not all of them are though. Is that a part of your writing process? What do you do when you go into the studio? Are you all just high as hell?
I enjoy an adult beverage, maybe some plant, and I just let the beat talk to me, I guess. I know that sounds like really artisty. That's really what I do.
Go ahead, Diggs.
Well, I was just going to ask you, because I went to Duquesne. You just said you went to Bobby Mo, which is right down the street.
Duquesne, yes.
I play with a lot of dudes who were from PG County, too. Like, why is it that was like the hotbed recruiting for Western PA was PG County?
Yeah, it was a lot of guys at Duquesne and Pitt, Duquesne, and Robert Morris that was from around the way. I don't know. That's a good question, because the recruiting is more spread out now. And, like, I just remember back then, like, there was not that many, like, guys going to Clemson and Nick Saban going to, like, a regular Montgomery County school to go we getting 5-star guys coming out of PG and Montgomery now. So, I don't know. It's a little different.
Did you ever go out in the south side of Pittsburgh?
Oh. Nah. There was a club called Lager, though, that we used to go to. I don't know what part of Pittsburgh that was, but it felt like Belly.
Yeah, well, Southside has a lot of that feeling as well. I mean, that is kind of what Pittsburgh is at this point. Go ahead, Ty.
Wale, at the start of COVID, I feel like these versus battles like really started to take off. Have you been approached by them at all, or is there anyone like you'd like to get in there and cut it up with?
Nah. But shout out to Swiss and them, man, and Timberland. They legends. But I don't think that's my thing.
Hey, how's it work with like features? Do you have to do songs with people you like? Does your label make you do stuff? Do you just reach out to people in the DMs, or are you kind of away from features?
Sometimes it's strictly business. Right now, like I'm kind of like embarrassed because it's like I have like 15 features that I have to do like for friends, and it's like, man, when I got sick, I got the COVID, then I had pneumonia, and I haven't been like really writing music since then. But that feature list is long, so I be feeling bad when I can't do stuff for my friends.
Well, I'm sure they'll understand. You almost fucking died twice. Get over it. I'm sure. Hey, Wally.
The crazy thing is some don't. They be like, "Yeah, man, your lungs all right? Okay, cool. Come in the studio."
Does the creativity come in waves? Does it hit you at certain times? Like, will you be able to write an entire song or album in a couple hours, and then some days you can't write shit?
Yeah, exactly. And I just been, to be honest, it's been like a month since I wrote anything that I was like, all right, yeah, let me use this.
So, like, when I watched 8 Mile, Eminem said, "Crimple it out, not good enough." You guys do that? That happens on a regular basis?
Yeah, especially when you overthink like I do.
Oh, so you think it's fire, get high, get sober, get high, reread it. This stinks?
Back and forth. Yep. Sometimes I be like,
don't beat yourself up, Wale. Let him live. We need to hear it.
I'm going to let him fly soon.
All right, that's awesome. Good luck with all of that. Congrats on surviving pneumonia, COVID, potential writer's block. It's great to have you back. Down south on all the platforms is unbelievable. Keep creating, and very thankful for everything you've done, Wale.
When you get back in the ring.
Okay, so that's the thing. You're saying I look like I'm in shape, huh? Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean, you put a 5-star classic on with Adam Cole. So,
yeah.
Hey, pretty good, huh, Wale? I mean, I lost. Obviously, made an amateur rookie mistake by kicking the stairs. Shouldn't have done that, but I should have got a win there.
I know, and now we trying to see you. We trying to see you in the Royal Rumble this year. The streets need it.
Hey,
I would do the manager thing for you, but you probably one of the best talkers in the business, so you good.
Listen, if I can have Wale near me at any time, I'm fucking with him. All right? I want to let you know that. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm trying to heal it up, man. What's up? I'm trying to heal it up.
Yeah, let's do it. Go listen to Down South and Angles with Wale. We can't thank you enough for joining us. This has been a pleasant surprise. Anytime you want to come back on to promote anything, you let us know.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it.
See you in Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, Wale. Hey.
It was awesome.
That was sweet.
Awesome.
I feel like we did okay there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't ask about 90210.
Oh. Call him back?
Yeah, call him back
like
right
that
now.
with, I don't know if we're like that with him or we're not. I don't know if we're like that. You did see the match, though. AJ, you saw it. He complimented me. That was good news. You could have came in there and saved me a couple times, but
Yeah, what did he say? He called it a 5. He put on a 5-star match. Is that what he said?
Damn right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a big deal in the wrestling community, which Wale is a part of the wrestling community. Is they give out grades on matches and everything like that. And it's, rookie of the year, whatever.
No big deal.
The issue is it was with a scumbag, So you heard him. He had to say the scumbag's name there. Oh, Adam Cole, once again, little scumbag gets a little rub from the guy here.
Well, that's how it goes. Is Adam Cole still around for you to even wrestle if you want to?
Well, the internet has been alive with that. I don't think anybody really knows, but I do know Ty, Nick, Connor, and Adam Cole had a little bit of a scrum on the internet the other night. And Ty, I want to let you know, I appreciate you, Ty. Hashtag thank you, Ty.
Hey, no problem. The guy's walking around with his chest puffed out. It's like, listen, pal, you don't have to be a sack of shit all the time. We know you are when you're on TV, but, on your personal time on Twitter, you don't have to be doing this kind of stuff.
Just a liar, sack of shit, bad guy. And somehow, even after he attacked Connor and he attacked Nick, AJ's like, oh, this is a good guy. This is a good guy.
This guy.
He's not,
Yeah,
AJ.
hey, every interaction I've had was very positive with Adam Cole.
It's because you're a scumbag, too.
Every time I had an interaction with him. I think, Ty, if you're going to go at him on Twitter, you better just go. Jump all in, man. Get personal. Make it real.
You're talking
He
about
did. He did make it real. I kicked the guy's soul out of his body.
Okay, all right. Well, I think
Did you
Ty
read
knows
the
he
goddamn
can really
thing?
open it up.
This guy can't read.
With Ty's
person
big
either.
brain, he could really come up with some great insults. I think Ty is smart enough to really get into it.
Yeah.
Oh, AJ, enough with playing both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
All right. You're either on
Cole's great
Team
to
Moss or Team Adam Cole. AJ.
Choose now.
I do not have to choose. That's not how it works.
Choose.
Yeah, you do. And you have 6 minutes to choose. Because hour 3, with all the phone calls on the 5-hour energy phone line and you making decisions, is going to be our greatest hour yet. We'll see you in 6 minutes. He walks all the way up.
Sleep! This is not the one that I saw.
Oh, good.
Oh, my God. Can we go back to the beginning, please? Listen, go back to the beginning. This guy, pause. That guy was sitting one section over in this blue polo
shirt-wearing son of a bitch who's here with his friend, by the way, right here. They're just having a good old day at the ballpark. Old buddy in the glasses back here. Oh, this has been fun. Look at this guy up here with the wife is maybe, the wife and the guy up there. They're kind of intrigued to see what's going on. Padres guy said, hey, listen, I've been locked in my fucking house for 13 months. I'm going to come to a ball game, and you're going to say dumb shit? I don't think so, pal. He walks over, 45 yards, casually, eyes ready to go, not fists ready to go, though. Just outside, no, calm. What, you got a fucking problem, pal? People smiling down here. They know something's about to happen. We got a camera out. We would like to see the alternate angle from this particular person. But what a moment here. We beat COVID. We are back. Old buddy here needs to watch out for right hooks. Bow! Buckled. What, bitch? He said. What? And then he gets tackled by everybody else, backpedals. Everybody watches this happen. What a Jeez. What? He says. What, dude? What? What? Damn. Oh, my. What was said by who? Hey, as we get back into society, let's remember, people will punch you in the fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I was on a team that was very bad at football. We almost were completely defeated until Dan Orlovsky showed up and got 2 big wins. We ended up almost losing the luck pick because Dan Orlovsky, everybody thinks they're going to get fired. Every player thinks they're going to get cut. Every coach thinks they're going to get fired. They try to pawn blame off on other positional groups. If it's the linebackers, they're like, we did our job. D-line can't do anything, can't stop it. There's a lot of that chatter, but it's a miserable existence. I mean, it's just the way it is. That's why you have to have so much respect for a player like Joe Thomas, who played a perennial all-pro career in a situation that was so negative and so terrible. I think if Joe Thomas got a chance and his knees let him experience a winning organization, I couldn't even fathom what Joe Thomas would have thought. I mean, life is just much better whenever you win. When you win, food tastes better. Drinks taste better. Sex feels better. Everything is better when you win. Winning cures all, they say. That's not just in the building and for a football team. That's in your life. Everything is just better when you win. And when you lose, especially when you're talking about some of the most competitive humans on earth, it is a nightmare. You got a lot of people trying to jump off the ship. You got a lot of people trying to figure it out. And whenever you're in a situation like that, it's just a full-blown nightmare for everybody. You got to think, when you get to the NFL, let's assume that the humans that make it to the NFL have had a lot of success through their lives. High school football, probably one good player, a guy who's going to make the NFL can lead a team to success. In college, if you have a couple good players that can make the NFL and make it to the Dolphins, even though the Dolphins stink, you're still going to make the NFL. Let's assume that team has had success. So then you get to a completely unsuccessful operation, a completely defeated operation, and then it's like, man, this is a whole new life for us. I'll never forget, I had a coach, special teams coach. I won't say his name because this is a terrible thing to say as a coach. We lost the game. It was back in the first regime. We were a good team. We lost the game, and everybody was moping. Like people were not happy that we lost the game the next day. He was, you guys just haven't lost enough. That's what he said. Everybody looked at him and was like, yeah, no crap. What are you talking about, dude? Yeah, this is the winningest decade in NFL history here. Yeah, you haven't lost enough. It's like, you've lost too much, maybe. Are you just comfortable at this point? And that's whenever it can get a little scary. Whenever people are just comfortable just getting their asses kicked every week, that could be a problem. That's when the culture is probably a lost cause. That's when the locker room's too worried about playing dice or playing Boo-Ray or anything else like that. When that starts happening after losses, then you know you're in a bad spot. And I would assume that's not happening at the Dolphins, especially under Ryan Fitzpatrick's watch. But maybe it is. I don't know. But that is a miserable existence. I am not a fan of that.
I actually would have made more money the day I signed than my whole contract with Indy.
Damn, dude. Why did you decide to turn down a lot of money to come back to Indianapolis for the year?
True story, no bull. I prayed about it. By 3 o'clock, I'm signing somewhere. And then 2:55, I got on the phone with Chris. Like, are we going to get this done? Like, how can we get this done? He came up with a number, and I'm like, all right, it's all right. I guess it's meant for me to go to this next team. As soon as I closed his message, Ursay texted me. I said, there go my sign right there. When he texted me, that's when we got it done. When he texted me, we got it done. Hey, did you see my eyes tweet yesterday?
Yeah, is that when you got the text from Ursay?
No, that was a text that I was almost gone.
Yeah, where are we going to go?
Hey.
Baltimore. You don't have to tell us, obviously, but I do believe Baltimore was in on something.
Yeah.
And then also the quarterback.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. Hour 3 on this Thursday, August 19th, 2021. Years after zero starts right.
Yeah!
Wow. AJ Hawk joining us from Ohio. The Hammer Down Boys are in studio back in Indianapolis, as are the Toxic Table at Boston Connor and Ty Schmidt. This is a Zito production. I am live in the middle of the desert, one day removed from the 2021 monsoon. I have survived. I'm thankful to report. AJ Hawk is coming to us live from Ohio. AJ, your thoughts on Wale?
I thought he was very good. I'm glad he's a big Washington football fan too. He didn't give us any inclination of what he likes as a new name though, right?
No, he did not. And he said he likes the Washington football team. It's sophisticated. And then he said they're going to let those jokes fly. Okay, people are going to do that, but he likes it. Wale seems like a guy that we can maybe have on the show again. Didn't it feel like that, Ty?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he punked my ass definitely, but it definitely that was a great conversation. It really was.
I enjoyed it. He was just walking around casually. I think he retweeted I made it. Okay,
let's go.
What are we doing? Am I friends with Wale, dude? Are we friends with Wale?
Sounds like
100%.
Hey, did you know he was that big of a wrestling fan? I guess you did.
Yeah, me and him actually were together. The first night NXT was live down in Full Sail University on USA. I think it was a Wednesday night. There was a kickoff panel. He was there. I was there. Sam Roberts was there. I got a chance to chat with him, and I don't think he knew who I was at that time, but I knew obviously who he was as a big fan. We had a good conversation, cool conversation, kept it moving. How you doing? And then, I mean, that was awesome. I'm friends with Wale, dude.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Possibly working with him if you ever need a manager and you decide, you know what, I don't want to cut promos for this little run. I'll have Wale do it for me.
Hey, he should be. I don't know how they haven't gotten him more involved, by the way. Like, he's big. Like, he's been in for a long time. As I was watching along, Wale was in there, and I've been there for like 4 or 5 years now at this point. He's been around a long time. I love that guy.
Was he on that panel with you and Sam Roberts? Like, was he actually working for WWE?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was there for WWE. He came on as like a guest to talk about how big of a night it was, and I think he rapped a little bit during the show. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
He actually does Big E's intro song, and it is hamski. I didn't fully understand why at Rolling Loud they didn't have Big E there, and Wale just kind of rap him out there to the rap audience. I thought that was maybe a miss, but
yeah,
you got to do what you got to do. We should get Wale out there more often. I love that guy. He went to Bobby Moe and played football. I had no clue that was the case. Can't wait to continue our budding friendship. Let's get into hour 3 here on this sports show. We can't wait for your phone calls. Call the 5-Hour Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. I'm sure you'll have incredible takes for us to talk about. Tom Brady said, and this is why Tom Brady is Tom Brady and why the greats are great. I know Adam Vinatieri had very similar mindset on things, and anybody that is successful at anything has this mindset. Hey, what I've done last year and the years past mean absolutely nothing to what's going to happen in this next season. What I did yesterday means nothing today. You have to show up every single day and earn it. And every single time we get a chance to kind of listen to Tom kind of explain why Tom Brady's Tom Brady, I think we should take it in. I like that he's here 7 Super Bowls into this thing, greatest of all time, going to be a Hall of Famer. And he's like, hey, nothing I've done matters at all tomorrow. That's a mindset you have to have because nothing's given to you, AJ.
Well, that's the mindset that all these coaches from a young age until they're NFL guys will preach all the time. Like, oh, it doesn't matter what you did. And coaches always get, the more you win, the more nervous coaches are because they don't want to let this thing slip. They don't want to go back and go back to what it was before this. And they get puckered up, man. And it's tough. You can always see it the weeks of like leading up to big games, especially it happens. If you've gone on a run, you're won 4 or 5 games in a row, they're going to sit there and hold on so tight. And it's going to be you're going to be battling in practice a little bit. But I think when you hear Tom say it, and you're like, oh, well, this guy, yeah, of course he says it. But we get to watch him live it in front of us and watch him win all these Super Bowls. And he's saying all the right things. But a lot of people say the right things, then they take breaks and don't really follow through or execute everything they say. It feels like Tom probably is doing more than he's saying even, usually.
So that was like the Edgerrin James Hall of Fame speech was awesome for a lot of reasons. But the one I enjoyed was like he was talking about his secret weapon is he would drink cranberry juice at the club. He'd drive everybody home, and then at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., he would legitimately go to the gym. And Jim Irsay actually said, like, this guy working at all hours of the night. And Jim almost said, like, no bullshit. Like, this is not like, hey, this is what's happening. His secret weapon was he was working. And I think that fear that you're going to lose it or, hey, nothing that I've done before matters right now, that fear can really drive you. I feel like I'm one of the most positive people of all time. When I would jog on the field to do my job, I was thinking, like, hey, it's going to be the biggest ball ever. Like, this is going to be the greatest punt to ever happen. Like, that was actual thoughts I'm telling myself. But sometimes it was hard not to be like, fourth quarter, I've had like 4 or 5 great punts, all went inside the 20. It's like, hey, I'm putting together maybe the greatest game I've ever had. Like, could ruin it all right here, though. Like, like it could ruin it all right here if you do that. That type of thing about nothing you've done before means anything in the current moment is so real, and I don't think enough people really realize it. I don't think enough people truly, like, hey, that you have to perform every single day. When you're at the top, you have to be able to perform every single day at a high level, and everybody just expects it because the way video games are. It's nice hearing Tom Brady just be like, nah, like, I could stink tomorrow forever. I got to remember that. Aaron's press conferences are awesome. Tom's press conferences are awesome. We're in a new era. People seem to be talking a lot more relatable. I fucking love it.
I think it's awesome. But also, if you're Tom Brady or you're Aaron or these studs that everybody knows, everybody you're playing against is looking forward to playing against you. Hey, guess what? Like, they're not going to sit there and just be in awe and be intimidated and give you a pass. Like, they're probably going harder because they know, like, hey, if I can pick off Tom Brady, this is a big deal. I'm getting that ball. I'm going to try to get him to sign it. Like, they're all doing that, so they know as well. Like, everybody, although they have the ultimate amount of respect for you, they also need to up their game. They're not going to just let you walk all over them.
Hey, by the way, there was a pick in one-on-ones at the Titans-Buccaneers practice. A DB jumped a route that Tom threw. It was like a drag route across in one-on-ones, by the way, which is fascinating. Wide receiver in corner threw a pick. As soon as that ball got intercepted, that thing was tweeted out. This guy just picked off Tom Brady. That guy's keeping that practice ball. He's probably asking for that thing to get signed. I mean, that is what you have to do. I think Pat Anger, he either got an interception from Peyton or Tom, or maybe both. I forget. But as soon as he caught it, literally as he's jogging his side, this ball's going in the office. It's fucking Peyton Manning or whatever. Like, this is a big deal. That's a real – everybody's trying to get you. Everybody's trying to get you whenever you're at that top there. Connor, you're somebody who has to understand this because you've been at the top for so long.
Sure.
What are your thoughts now you're learning more about Tom Brady as a Buccaneer than you ever did whenever he was at the Patriots?
Well, I mean, I think, and I have learned a lot too from reading the book The Dynasty that came out last year, and I think it was kind of like an Aaron Rodgers situation almost, where you have this like idea before, and then once they come out and speak on it, it's like, oh, okay, I can sort of understand that. Like, I hated Tom Brady for a long time after he left New England, and then when you kind of just dig deeper,
he just left.
Oh yeah, well, it's felt like a decade, Pat. I mean, it might as well be 10 NFL seasons when you go 7-9 when you're used to going to 12-4 every year. But I mean, you just kind of you understand, like, yeah, Brady probably should have had much more say than he did, and you just kind of almost have to not honor it, but respect the fact that he is the greatest. That's why when the Buccaneers, won the Super Bowl, and some may say Tampa Connor was, birthed. I liked seeing it because of the fact that it's like, hey, it's a guy you've rooted for your entire life, and now he still has success after. Clearly the greatest of all time. But going back to what Brady actually said with the, there's no aspect of what I've done last year that means anything. That's like when Rob Ninkovich talked about Bill Belichick and the contract negotiations. Like, hey, you might have had 10 sacks last year, but, what have you done for me lately? What are you going to be next year? And I think that kind of factors into why those two got along together for so long, because of the fact that they had the same mindset that, like, hey, we could have won the Super Bowl last year, but if we don't win it this year, then who gives a shit?
That's so Tom echoing basically Bill's sentiments, or Bill echoing Tom's sentiments, whatever the case. Those coaches' cliches, man, you don't realize, I think, until you leave football, you'll come to a situation and it's like, all right, what was a bullshit cliche that I probably made fun of Chuck for saying? And it's like, be where your feet are. It's like, okay, I'll be like, you kind of that coach talk, like Bill saying, nothing you've done before means anything today. I'm not paying you for what you've done, by the way. I'm paying you for what we think you're going to do. All those cliches that you hear from these coaches, I mean, you start echoing them yourself almost in your day-to-day. It's just kind of part of being in the football world, I think.
Well, don't you think? I don't know if you had this. Like in college, we would joke around and sarcastically say a lot of the coaches' sayings. Like a lot of the assistants always had their own little sayings, and we would use them on each other, our teammates, and it was always funny. And you'd say it as a joke, and then eventually it just became serious. Like then we were, and it just okay, yeah, this is what we say now, and we're not sarcastically using it anymore.
Yeah, it is. It's mocked, and cliches are mocked by the media too. Like, oh, here comes another cliche machine or whatever. It's like, well, cliches are a cliche for a reason, because they're normally pretty true. And although coaches seem to fall back on them on a regular basis, I think they do it because it's like a tried and tested way of saying something that they were trying to get across. I literally think of the cliches that coaches have yelled at me in so many different situations now throughout it's almost become like my way of thinking. It's like, it's crazy. Like it's fucking crazy.
The pointing fingers one that Rich Rod said to you. I mean, that one's gold. I feel like that's one, even though it's a cliche that I'd never heard until you said it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to use that going forward no matter what.
Hey, listen. Well, that was Chuck. That wasn't Rich Rod.
Oh,
Rich Rod, deep Southern. No, I'm saying my accent. Hey, every time you point a finger, there's three fingers pointing back at you, fucking asshole. I'm like, I guess you're okay. So I got to do that. Right? I fucking love it. It's funny though. Oh,
does Rich Rod know he's funny?
Days and days. What's up?
Does he know it? Does he know that he's funny, Pat?
Rich Rod?
Yeah.
At this point, he has to.
Yeah.
I don't think he knew at the time, like when he was being. I wonder if I helped him realize that the shit he does and the way he acts is hysterical.
Yeah.
I wonder if I helped him realize that, because there's a guy so competitive, so competitive, and he's like, if you're not going to be at my level of competition and if you don't want to win as bad as I do, get your fucking ass off of my fucking field. It's like crazy. It's crazy.
I would assume did he coach his assistants hard too? He seems like one of those guys.
So one of my friends, I won't say his name, because he told me the story and I don't want anybody to get angry about it, but one of my friends who was a teammate and a roommate of mine in college, had red hair. He just kind of dialed it in there pretty tightly. He wanted to be an assistant coach at Arizona whenever he went out there, because he loved his defensive coordinator who was coaching out there. He blew out both of his shoulders. He's a really good middle linebacker, big. 6'3", 6'4", could move, very athletic, was academic All-American, genius. I think he has like 4 degrees, from a farm, hardworking guy. He could handle just about any drug too, which made me like him a lot. He was fucking awesome guy, like incredible guy. Thought he would have been great in the NFL, gets injured. And, so he goes down the coaching thing, goes into coaching. He's coaching now at Rich Rod's, leadership. He's now under Coach Rod's, umbrella. And we all told him, like, yeah, it's a wild move. You're going in there on a day-to-day or whatever. I guess a situation occurred where on the sideline, Reed was either calling in signals or something for the linebackers, and he was standing on the thick paint, on the sideline. And Rich was pacing back and forth, I guess, And I guess one of his rules is you can't be in front of of like, hey, you better be behind. So I guess there was a scene, and this was not told to me by Reed. It was told to me by another coach, but I had to ask Reed about it. It was Reed, by the way. His name's Reed. So he's standing there giving signals, and I guess people could see that Reed saw Coach Rod. Okay, so he knew Coach Rod was potentially pacing his way. Rich Rod knew that he saw him as well. So Rich was coming down, seeing, I think, if Reed would back up or whatever, as so that Rich Rod could do whatever. And Reed, I guess, did not back down. Reed stood his ground, and there was a little bit of a stare off, I guess, that happened on the sideline. And then he kind of walked away. And I guess everybody thought there was potentially going to be a full-blown fist fight between Reed and Rich Rod on the sideline. But I guess Rich actually respected it. Allegedly, Rich respected it, but I don't know exactly what it's like to be his coach. But I assume there is a lot of accountability. There's a lot of, hey, you better be here 20 to 25 minutes before this fucking meeting's supposed to start, or I will run your ass all out of this town. Yeah, he is. He plays no fucking games. That guy. He might have changed. I don't know, but what a wild time to be alive.
Hey, Pat.
Yeah, buddy.
You guys were talking about earlier with fights between the Bucks and the Titans. Well, practice has just been called between the Rams and the Raiders because of too many fights today.
Okay, so the Rams and Raiders decide it's time to bail from their joint practice here on this beautiful Thursday. Fascinating thing to me is the Rams complimented the Raiders. They said, hey, this ain't like the 2019 Raiders team that we practiced with. This team looks like they're a little bit more bought in. They believe, they're confident. Then somebody else said they've taken on the characteristics of their coach, John Gruden. So although we from the outside looking in at the Raiders organization have a lot of questions, especially with the amount of people that are quitting and getting cut and then the turnover and what is John like, what is he not like? They got 10 years to get this right. Is Derek Carr the guy? I mean, there's a lot of questions looking in. The Rams say from being within the building with them in these joint practices in practice, they look like a completely different team than they did, and it's in a good way. But that does not mean we can just fucking fight every other goddamn time. Enough with the fight. We'll practice alone is what they said over there, AJ Hawk.
Well, don't you think that Raiders, like John Gruden and Raiders fans should feel pretty good about the Rams complimenting them, saying, hey, they're kind of taking on the persona of their head coach, John Gruden. I mean, Gruden, I'm sure, is absolutely juiced to hear this. And he has Hunter Renfrow talking to the media, declaring how good he is and going against Jalen and everything. Like, Hunter Renfrow, I've never heard the guy speak. He's a great player, though. Like, is he going to start talking now? I love it.
Okay, I don't know if John Gruden sent Hunter Renfrow out there to talk shit on Jalen. And I don't know, by the way, if Hunter Renfrow was talking shit on Jalen. But this is something that, and I'm happy
he was complimenting Jalen. He was complimenting, saying, hey, if I can beat him, I can beat anybody. Like, Jalen's the best. Like, he's that good.
So this is what I think happened, okay? So at practice, believe it or not, guys on the field, they don't have their phones. You know what I mean? So, like, guys that are actually at practice in a training camp, they have no idea what's potentially going viral at any given moment by any fan in the stand that would potentially film something, record something, any media member. For instance, I'm assuming Hunter Renfrow had no idea that he was viral for beating Jalen Ramsey in a rep. He probably went into that press conference, and maybe the PR person told him, like, hey, you're currently going viral for beating Jalen Ramsey in a rep or whatever. But in my eyes, he went in there, and somebody goes, hey, the whole internet's real excited about you beating Jalen, blah, blah, blah. So I think maybe he was even taken back. It was like, yeah, maybe he beat me too. He said it was like one of those entire things. And then Jalen saw the internet overreacting to a training camp rep in practice getting beat. Y'all funny, he said, basically, get the hell out of here. Y'all enjoy y'all day, though, okay? Because I know who I am. Even the haters, I still hope you enjoy your day and go make some money. I can't believe that y'all, in quotes, believe half the BS that people say for clicks. Y'all got to know at this point and do better than that, LOL. It's all love. I ain't going to pop my shit, but I just know I'm really the chosen one out here. Thank you, God. Because he loses in a rep in practice, the internet goes viral for it, and now Hunter's got to answer questions. Jalen's speaking up for himself. But that's what happens when you're the guy, and that's what happens when people are interested in your life.
When you're the guy, and also, like, it also is just another example of how popular NFL football is. Like, I don't know if we have Raj to thank or whatever, but we're sitting there, and a guy in practice wins a one-on-one rep, but who knows what the rep even looks like, what it was. Like, who knows what Jalen's working on, and he goes on and feels like he has to respond to one rep that happened in training camp 20-some days before the season starts.
Well, and by the way, that one rep might have been, 70 plays ago in practice? They probably had 10 different situations since then. And they're like, oh, when Hunter Renfrow beat you. And he's like, Hunter Renfrow? When the hell did that happen? Because it's like that Richard Sherman thing at the Niners.
Yep.
We talk about this. What was it, Marquise
Goodwin?
Yeah.
I think it was Marquise Goodwin blew by him at the 49ers training camp or whatever, and this was after Richard Sherman negotiated his own deal. And Sherm, by the way, we're all pulling for you to get through your battles that you're in right now. The NFL is a much better place whenever you're healthy and feeling good. We're all pulling for you. But he was like, maybe working on something, at practice. Maybe I'm trying to get better. Jalen might have tried something different with his leverage. And Hunter, like whatever the case in practice.
It's called practice. How many times do I tell you this? It's called practice. You're going to work on things that are not going to work. That's how you know if they work or not. So people forget that sometimes. We're out here working on what hopefully I can take to the game and throwing away what might not.
Isn't it the amount of confidence you have to have, though, to work on something? And that's the only time to do it is at practice, especially a joint practice. Hey, let me see if my bullshit I've been thinking about and working on will work against somebody that hasn't seen it yet or whatever. And then all of a sudden you lose the rep and the entire internet's like, this guy stinks. Fucking run him out of town. It's like, whoa. It's a different era now that every single rep can be seen by literally every human on earth that has internet. So it's a shame the Amish can't see all these things, but nowadays you can get God at any given time. At Boston Connor, living underneath the rim, you say, you can get God every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on tonight's Patriots-Eagles game? Jalen Hurts playing, Mac Jones playing. Are you betting on this alongside the Hammer Down boys? What's your mindset going into tonight?
I'm definitely betting on it, and naturally I'm betting on the Patriots. But really the biggest thing, especially when Rapshi came on here and had to leave, you can't have any injuries. Especially after last week when Matthew Judon almost got his leg taken off of his body. It's just like, hey, go out there, try and make some plays, maybe work on some stuff like you guys were just talking about in practice, but don't be throwing your body around to the point where you're going to miss the first 6, 7, 8 weeks of the season. Let's stay up, let's be healthy, and let's watch Mac Jones throw 85-yard touchdowns the entire game.
Excited to see Mac Jones potentially take the next step. I enjoyed his poise, his confidence. Excited to see what Cam Newton does as well, because remember, he is still the starter, even though he told Tommy Curran that everybody knows the deal there. Tone Diggs, COVID Cowboy, at Bubba Gumpino, the Hammer Down boys. They go live 15 minutes after this show ends every single day at youtube.com/Hammer Down. Diggs, Gumpy, what's the play tonight on this preseason game? Do you guys know anything? Are we making any safe bets? The under is always in play, huh?
Yeah, I'm morally obligated to take the under after it going 14-2 last weekend. Total being 38. I am a little worried. The Eagles were one of the only 2 games to go over last weekend. And against the Steelers, they let Dewey Haskins go 16 of 22, Mason go 8 of 9, and then Dobbs go 5 of 6. So I'm a little worried about the Eagles' defense. So I might sprinkle potential -1 Patriots as well. Ooh. But I was worried because I was listening to a press conference. I think it was a press conference, and Sirianni guaranteed that he would win his next football game. So I am slightly concerned about that.
He actually did that?
I might have been in here.
Yeah, might have been time.
Deep fake.
Could have been deep fake. I'm not sure, but that's the only worry there.
At Papa Gumpy, no. Gumpy, the hottest gambler on earth. Are you betting on this preseason game, or are you just sticking with baseball because that's where the hot stick's been?
No, I'm going to take the Patriots money line. I feel like Mac Jones is going to play a lot again tonight. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with the Eagles. They say Jalen Hurts is looking good, but besides that, I just see the Patriots winning this one.
Hell yeah.
Hammer Down, boys. No stone unturned. That's why you guys have such great bets and odds and records and numbers. We appreciate you doing that. Have either of you gone to the hottest NFL gambler in the office and asked him his thoughts? Because that's what I want to know. Evan Foxy. Yep. Foxy, what's going to happen tonight in this preseason game? This is your thing. Preseason football is where you shine, pal.
Yeah, I'm on absolute fire, and it's funny.
Don't forget about the Lions, Foxy.
Connor walked in this morning, and the first thing he said to me was that someone on the Patriots was going to get hurt.
I'm worried.
So there's already bad juju on the Patriots side. And I just looked at this money line. You got the Eagles at plus 105, and Diggs said they scored a lot of points last week. You got to hammer Eagles money line tonight. I think that is an absolute lock.
I said I gave up a little.
Thank you,
Gumpy, is that
Foxy.
what you're doing?
No, I'm on Patriots. Thank you, Fox. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying that the Fade Foxy train still plays.
It's got to come back at some point, Pat.
He
We
already
can't
cursed
let
the
it run
Lions.
forever.
He already cursed the Lions in game 1 of MCDC's career.
Oh,
so
true.
Hey, Anthony Lynn needs to.
Yes, he does.
Tighten up.
I went into one of our linebackers' houses my rookie year in the NFL to potentially take off to the clouds with a teammate or four. And there was a football offense for dummies book there that this linebacker read, and it helped him, decipher what plays were coming. And this said linebacker is one of the most electrifying humans that I have ever heard in my entire life. I think Foxy has read that book. I think Foxy is now our sharp when it comes to football.
Let's
gambling.
go. Thank you, Pat. You've always had my back.
And it cost me.
Yep.
Yeah, it did. It did.
It cost me a lot of money, but it feels like you're putting preseason parlays together, Foxy. I mean, you're fucking crushing it right now.
Eagles tonight. Let's go.
All right, we'll bet on the Eagles. The Eagles-Steelers game is on right now on the TV behind me here, NFL Network. I've been watching the punting and the plays. Joe Sweet Feet, Quick Feet.
Flacca.
Oh, Footsteps?
Joey Footsteps.
Joey Footsteps is currently in right now. He's probably going to see a lot of action, tonight?
Yeah, I would assume so. But personally, I'll take Cam and
What?
number 50 practice squad versus Footsteps and Hurts, I think.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so Sirianni, the second preseason game, this is going to be viewed as the third preseason game for a lot of teams, I think, AJ.
Yeah.
Like, I think this second game here this weekend, we're going to see a lot more starters play longer than we ever imagined. If not this game, they're not going to play the third game for sure. So I think we might see a higher quality football this weekend, AJ.
We should, but also with the Patriots. So if Cam starts, how long does he play, and do you read into it? Like, let's say he plays 2 series. Is that good for Cam, or is that bad for Cam? Let's say he plays the whole first half. What is it?
We read into everything
Yep.
that happens in preseason because we have to. But I think the only thing we're looking for tonight is Max still comfortable? How are his teammates around him? Is he making plays? He missed by a half yard for like another 70 yards probably last week if he really wanted to. The Mac Jones does not stink hype train rolls on tonight, hopefully. But he could come out here and look real bad. They could put him in some bad situations. Last week, they put him in the hurry-up 2-minute drill. He went 8 of 9 in that. He looked comfortable. Cam Newton looked a lot better than he did last year, right, Connor?
Yeah, for sure. He only got 2 series, like to AJ's point, so I think they'll give him a little more burn now that the QB competition is much closer. But no, he didn't look bad at all.
Okay, let's get to a break. As we get to a break, Boston Connor is going to tell you about something so sweet. Boston Connor, before we go to a 4-minute break and then come back on the other side with a beautiful wrap-up to this incredible Thursday, August 19th. What do you want to tell the beautiful people?
Well, Pat, we're all Wall Street investors here, and today's sponsor is Public.com. Yeah! An investing app where you can buy stocks, follow investors, and share ideas. So Pat joined Public, and you can see his portfolio if you search for @Pat McAfee in the app. Here's why Public is the best place to invest. You can follow other users' portfolios, including Pat, Shaq, Tony Hawk, and thousands more. I believe AJ Hawk also might be on there like his Uncle Tony.
No.
The app is free, and you can start with as little as $1. Get on now then, AJ. You can buy slices, portions of stocks, and full shares. Don't sell your data or information to third parties or market makers like other investment apps. You'll get a free, yeah, it's legit.
Big deal.
You'll get a
This is
free
great
slice.
advice.
Yeah, thanks, AJ. We know. You'll get a free slice of stock when you go to public.com/Pat McAfee to download the Public app. Get started today and make sure to follow Pat. Again, this is not investment advice. This is just what we're doing, Pat's doing, Shaq, Tony Hawk, and AJ Hawk are doing. Disclaimer, this is only valid for U.S. residents 18 and older. Subject to account approval, see public.com/disclosures. Again, this is not investment advice. Make sure you go to public.com/Pat McAfee to get a free stock slice today.
Great work, Connor. Great work to public.com. Not selling your information, being a bunch of scumbags, and allowing people to make some money. No investment advice, but follow along. We're back in 4 minutes to wrap up this Thursday with your phone calls. 1-833-4-McAfee on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. We'll see you then.
We have no idea how to do the subway system, but Zeke is doing the directing, the mapping, the planning.
Well, my tell is in 10 minutes, that train should be ready. He knew his shit. He said it's going that way. This is Zito guided tour. We're not going to get spun on the train. We should get on an Uber. This was a bad idea. This was a bad decision. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is going to be interesting.
Are we on the right way to Yankee Stadium right now? To the Bronx.
I don't like that hesitancy.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
New York is it's a bit much. There's shit everywhere. It smells like shit. There's a lot of people, but it's a hub of industry out here, you know.
Thank you so much.
Hey, let's go now, Yanks.
Hey, what are we saying now, Kanaki?
Yeah. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated. We the darkness I rose up, loaded my soul, it's a gold rush. Honor and freedom, I toast up. Kicking game on the snare drum, hard on the beat, let it bleed out like sacrifices. Cut it open, emotions spilling like oil and coasting. Therapy for my mental, I'm pinning a pistol and shoot down the criticisms individually. I heard the voices that told us, no dirt on my name and wish me the worst and stole us. Shot through the heart and pray on my downfall, but Yahtzee prevailed on my outlaw. Stay on top of the chest like Olympic gold. Rapid smooth on the floor like a jazz song. Witness greatness, look up in LeBron home. Remember next time for you doubt us. That only made me go.
How are ya? I'm Roman, a men's health brand that can dance very well and make you the best you possible. Are you suffering from male pattern baldness? We got something for that. Herpes. See ya. Premature ejaculation. Gone. No more coming too quick. Allergies as well. And that's not all. We have clinically tested supplements for everything, including erectile dysfunction. Come on. Bye-bye. GetRoman.com/Pat. Be the best you possible.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Before we get into it, you might think we're constantly slamming tall boys of beer around here. And although we may have a booze hound or two, Foxy.
Sure. Ty.
Whoa, come on.
I'm just, if we're pointing out alcoholics.
Fair. These tall boys are actually delicious mountain spring water from the Alps. We're constantly murdering our thirst with the best water brand on the planet, Liquid Death.
Hell yeah.
While we murder our thirst, we're also helping out by murdering plastic. And 10% of proceeds go to stopping plastic pollution. There's nothing... Yeah, it's great.
Pretty cool.
There's nothing quite like mountain water out of an ice-cold can, and that's no BS. This is the coldest water you will ever drink. And you need to try it today. Get free shipping on all water and merch at liquiddeath.com/McAfee. That's liquiddeath.com/McAfee, or grab some at Whole Foods and 7-Eleven.
Shout out to you, Ty. Good read. Shout out to Liquid Death, by the way.
Thank you.
AJ, you grew up in a blue-collar town. You ever drink from the hose?
Yeah, all the time. Still do.
Bingo.
I haven't done it in a long time, so I'm envious of you. And this might not be how Liquid Death wants this to be sold, but I grew up drinking out of the hose. I fucking love that. It has a similar. You get a little taste of nostalgia as you drink down that ice cold canned water. It is it's a much more enjoyable experience, I think, than you could ever imagine. Don't you think, Ty?
Yeah, without question. The first time you look at it, it's like, I don't know, water in a can, but then you crack that thing open and almost have your teeth just shatter from how cold it is.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, this was the right decision.
And cold water does not get enough credit ever for being like the most satisfying thing most times.
Right. Wets the whistle every time.
It does. All right, let's go to some phone calls here. 5-Hour Energy phone line. AJ, we need to get you some Liquid Death over there. We'll go to liquiddeath.com/McAfee, and you'll get what?
You're going to get
80% off.
No, it's just free shipping on all water and merch at liquiddeath.com/McAfee.
Okay. AJ, we are waiting on the first 80% off deal a company offers us because we will know that company won't be around for a long time. We have to attack at that.
Hey, I thought that's what I heard in the first read.
No, it's free shipping, which is good because you're going to get a case of these things. And when these tall boys show up, it's a life changer. Let's go to the 5-Hour Energy phone line to wrap up this beautiful Thursday. I'm going to be honest, I smoked some dope during the break.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Can you be honest?
I did. I walked into it's crazy out here in these states where it's legal. We walked into this MedMen store yesterday. Yeah. My wife had an order. I had an order. I mean, this is a whole different world out here. I mean, what are we even doing?
Was it pretty busy in there? Like a constant flow?
Yeah, you had to order ahead online, and then when you got there was a little bit of a line. There was a holding area that you had to go into before you go in to the actual thing. Very clean, very well run. No parking spots, so we had to park in a different town almost to get there. But it was awesome. It was an incredible experience, and it's just this is how the country has to be soon, right? I mean, this got to be it.
It is very easy to rack up a bill at one of those places. It'll sneak up on you.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard not to go every single day I'm out here. Too. Like it's been hard not to take a run during a commercial break just to buy everything they got to get. It's awesome. We have to do this more often in the other states of America. The amount of money people are missing. Like for instance, sports gambling has been okayed out here, just like it got okayed in North Carolina. By the way,
here we go.
Hey, North Kakalaka, go on, raise up. Take your shirt off, dude. Sports gambling has been legalized. Now, the rollout process for online gambling, who's going to get to a handle, which is called a skin, I think, in each state. There's a lot of regulations, a lot of handshaking, glad handing, probably pockets being greased that happen in this whole thing. Arizona is going to have FanDuel available here, I think, at the end of the month because they had it okay. With weed being legalized, the weather, I mean, why, if you were another state, would you not want these things to potentially be coming to your state when it's available in other places and they're raking in so much money doing it? It makes no sense to me, AJ.
So much money being brought in with taxes and everything that comes with it. But I would imagine, like, when you walked in, did the place like give you a standing O? Like, I would feel like, oh, Jesus has come. Like if you walk into a dispensary.
There was 2 pictures that were wanted to be had as soon as we walked into that dispensary. The people working there did not know me, which tends to be the normal. People at store knew me rather well. Pretty cool. Pretty cool to get recognized in the middle of Arizona for sure, especially in a dope store. That's good to know.
Yeah. that what it says? Does it say dope store on the outside?
No, it says MedMen. It's very nice. They got a good thing going, this MedMen group. They got a good thing going.
Nicer than that one we went to in Toronto. That one was unbelievable.
That was like an Apple store.
Yeah.
That one we went to in Toronto was an Apple store. This one a little bit different, a little smaller. More like San Francisco.
Yep. That was a pretty nice one.
It was a nice one, but it was a little bit more business, you know? Like, it felt like the one in Toronto was a little bit more, like, recreational. This one felt like it was probably a medicinal one that turned into a recreational one as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Clean, no problems, no beefs. Get whatever you need. They had good stock. It was great. It was great. I got a lot of edibles. A lot of edibles, AJ.
Is he frozen?
Is he frozen?
Yeah, he is. Oh, no.
I'm in Arizona. There was a monsoon yesterday. No problems.
This
Right?
guy over
What
here.
a clown.
Internet freezes damn near every day.
Unbelievable.
Let's go to the 5-hour energy phone lines while we try to find out where the hell AJ Hawk is. Let's go to Mooney down there in North Texas. Mooney, what's going on?
Hey, what's up? Happy Thursday, boys.
Hey, happy Thursday, Mooney. What do you want to talk about?
I got two things I'd like to ask about. First, how's the new office coming along, and is old man Smithers still throwing a wrench in the fucking progress of the...
Okay, so old man Smothers, I think he's parked a couple different cars in the parking lot and left them there. We're currently dealing with a sitter at the Coliseum. Things are picking up on the Coliseum. Things are picking up. Price tag is as well, but things are really picking up with the Coliseum. I think we're going to be in there 4 or 5 months from now. I think it'll be a whole new home. So thank you for asking. Smothers, we think is still alive, probably still hates us, but we'll win him over at some point.
Right on, man. That's fucking awesome.
All right, shout out to you, Mooney. How'd you get the name Mooney?
That's my last name. I've called in several times, but nobody ever gets my first name right. It's Manning, so I figured my last name would be easier.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was putting his ass out of windows driving around mooning everybody.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Classic.
Hey, can we turn on the window locks? You know, Mooney gets a little fucking... You remember that was a thing. People used to just put their whole ass out of
Oh, yeah. Big time. In high school. Parking lot drive-bys all the time.
Gotcha.
Does that still happen, you think? No way.
I doubt it.
Way.
Bro, it would I mean, some kids on school buses would have their asses out that little tiny little... That used to be a thing.
Yeah.
Imagine how many laws that's breaking now.
Oh, my goodness. Millions.
Joining us now is a man who used to bully people into mooning people. AJ Hawk, welcome back.
Yeah.
Baby AJ. I missed you. You're talking about mooning people out of a bus window?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a caller named Mooney, and I thought his name was Potential Mooney because he was the one in his friend group that would put his bare ass to any group of people whenever that mooning era happened. Turns out it was his last name, but then we led to a full conversation of, is the mooning era long gone? It has to be because of all the laws that potentially were broken while that was happening.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that can be like considered sexual assault if you moon somebody now. Like, but the best moon ever, I hope you guys know the movie Dirty Work when he's driving, he moons him, and then all of a sudden the driver Norm Macdonald or Artie gets out of the car and leaves, and then he moons like a whole people waiting in line to get into like a concert. So he's driving by, like, hey, let's moon him quick. And he's mooning him, then all of a sudden, boom, car stops, driver gets out, and he's just sitting there with his bare ass pointing towards the people.
Ah, that's awesome. What movie is that?
I think he's like Dirty Work. I think he says he was supposed to keep going, and he has to just walk out embarrassed.
Axel will bring back mooning, won't he, AJ?
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh gosh,
He loves butt cheeks, dude. He loves butt cheeks. He will literally scream in your face, butt cheeks. Like, who taught you this, dude?
I don't know what happened. We don't know how it happened. Honestly, we don't get it. And he's just starting little kid, like preschool, kids schools type stuff. And I'm like, man, we're waiting at every moment for a phone call that this dude's getting kicked out.
Well, especially at that super God school you're sending your kids to. Let's go to the phones now. Nick in Missouri, what's going on, Nick?
Fighting out of Indianapolis, Indiana, via Plum, Pennsylvania. He is PFF's puncher of the decade, Pat McAfee!
Yeah!
Hey,
Is that it?
I just got
Now I got one question, Pat. Hey, do you?
Oh. I thought I was fighting somebody.
Hey, Pat.
You know, like, is the red corner getting announced next?
Speaking of fighting, hey, if you got in a fight in training camp, do you carry that on to the regular season?
Great question, Nick. See, great intro for me. I thought he was going to set up who I was fighting. You know what I mean? I thought we're potentially going to be, and in the red corner. You know, like I thought he was going to do that, but we're all love here. When he talks about fighting, as soon as that thing's over, it's normally over. I just, from my experiences of watching, AJ's probably been in many more and give a better answer for this. But just like the old days when you used to throw, haymakers at each other and chuck knucks, normally after that it was over, right? Is that how it is in football as well?
Absolutely. When it's your own team fighting, absolutely. But I feel like the caller was asking when it's a joint practice and they fight, are they going to carry that over the regular season if they play each other? There could be some carryover. If it's personal or they feel like someone was really cheap-shotted, there will absolutely be some carryover.
Who was it? It was Golden Tate and Jalen?
Yep. Yeah. It was personal stuff, though, that had been going on the whole time.
And that did carry into the season, though. So what I'm saying is if there is personal stuff, whether that's in practice or in life, there is a chance that's going to carry on. I love the fact, though, that Golden Tate went out there and just basically said, yeah, we have to fight because of what you did. And just fucking here we go. It happens. I love that type of stuff. Society doesn't anymore for obvious reasons. Science says that punching to the face isn't always great for everything. But I like it when two people say, you know what? We are the same species. We have both got to a point where our thick skulls and brains cannot settle this any other way than us throwing these bones at each other and seeing who can inflict more pain. And then as soon as it's over, it's over. I fucking love something about that. You know, like I enjoy that, even though I think that's going to be non-existent here going forward in the not so near future.
Don't you think it's like the NFL does a good job of self-policing, like teams self-police, and they get in fights, they hold guys accountable. If someone's acting out or doing something that you shouldn't do, or like your tempo is wrong, they're going to let you know. Like you don't need a coach to do it. It's like old school hockey. Wasn't that like what they took pride in, self-policing the game? And they've kind of gotten away from that, I feel like.
Oh, they still do it. Remember this past season, they had a massive moment. I think it was the Rangers and the Capitals. Something happened where a Ranger end of the game got hit. Everybody knew the next game was just going to be a fight. There was 7 fights or 8 fights.
Yeah.
Within the first 5 minutes, there was 8 people in the penalty box, and everybody's like, we knew this was going to happen. Hey, can't fucking do what you did last game and not have to answer the bell for it. The problem was the team that had to stick up for their teammate was by far the weaker team. Yeah. So they had to go fight for their teammate, and they all knew they were going to get their fucking dicks kicked.
Tom Wilson, right?
Yeah, Tom Wilson's made of metal. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, but they had to fight, right, Frank? I mean, that was the thing. Hockey still has a little bit of that, even though they've tried to run that out of the game.
Tom Wilson's a scumbag, pal. We're sick of him.
Okay, talk to Nick, please, though. Nick, your thoughts on – was that Gumpy? Gumpy, I forgot Gumpy's a hockey guy.
Who was that?
Was that Gumpy?
I mean, Pat may think the pillow is the real Gumpy.
It is.
No.
I mean, I can't see any. I can only hear some.
There's 2 Gumpies.
It's a Gumpy stare down.
Pal, take that sweater off. It's 85 degrees outside.
So that was deep fake, Gumpy.
That was deep fake. Game's up.
Okay, good. Nick, you gave it away that time. Can't do it. Need to work on it a little bit better. I thought it was close there early, but at the end there, did not sound like him. The hockey sweaters, though, they've been throwing blows at people for a long, long time, AJ. The NFL, I think, is going to get away from it, as is society, which, you know, is probably for the betterment of everybody's health and safety. But what about just handling business and bullshit? I don't know. You got to do what you got to do. Let's go to the 5 Energy phone line. Owen in Wisconsin. What's going on, Owen?
Hey, we're doing well, Pat. How about you guys?
Hey, not too shabby. Hey, over there in Wisconsin, what are we talking about?
Well, I punted in college, Pat. Just kind of like you did. I went to D3, though, so a lot smaller in your world. But got the chance to get invited to Gary Zahner's college senior combine down there in Arizona, which, you're right, it's beautiful down there. But got to punt alongside of A.J. Cole and Jamie Gillen. Got invited with those guys, obviously a little smaller for me, so I couldn't really get an agent to sign me, and that was kind of the end of the road. But just kind of wanted to get your take on what you went through in that situation, because it was an awesome experience.
Nice, Owen. Thanks for the question. Congrats on the run. I appreciate you bombing balls. I had nothing like that experience, so I don't know what it's like. I do know there's a lot of these free agents for people to make it into the league and get some get some footage out there of them bombing balls, which I respect and I like. Zahner seemed like a car salesman when he came up to me at the Senior Bowl. Gary Zahner, he said, watching you, there's so many things I could fix. I was like, oh, what are some things? Well, you got to come to my camp to do that. I'm like, well, I'm not going to. But he has done a lot of great things for a lot of people, as have a lot of coaches. Oh, and I apologize you not getting a fair shake or whatever. I wish you would have made it. I never had to do that. I didn't get invited to the Combine either, which is kind of fucking crock of shit, but I had a good senior day.
How many punters and kickers get invited to the Combine?
A lot.
Who makes the decision on who makes the list?
I asked the same question. I asked a lot of people a lot of questions, like, who said no? Was it you? Like, as I got older in the league, and I started beating a lot of these special teams coaches, I was like, did you say I didn't even get invited to the fucking Combine, pal? I think it's scouts, though. I don't know if it's a special teams coaches. I think it's just scouts or whatever. I couldn't even get invited, man. I thought I was done. I was the only, I think I was the only guy at the Senior Bowl who wasn't invited to the Combine.
Yeah, wouldn't those guys, wouldn't the Senior Bowl guys especially be some of the people who are like, yeah, when you invite, X, Y, and Z to the Combine?
You would think in that same conversation that I had with Darren, the Cincinnati Bengals special teams guy, who is the coolest dude on earth. I talked to him. He was coaching the North team. I was on the South team. So one day we hung out. That same conversation, he told me, nobody's ever been able to kick and punt in the NFL. I was in the Senior Bowl as a field goal kicker. But some people potentially thought of me as a punter because I did the rollout punt. They thought I was athletic. He told me to never punt a ball again. He said, if I were you, I'd focus on just kicking because you're in the Senior Bowl as a kicker. There's only one kicker. Never punt a ball again. And he said, I'm going to try to get you in the Combine, too, because he ran the Combine workout. I didn't get in the Combine, and I did stop punting. I got drafted to punt. Played the Bengals in the 4th preseason game. Darren was there. He applauded, hey, yes, I'm sorry. You should have kept punting. I think so, too. But he and I had a great relationship, literally. You would think that would be somebody that I would hate, but he always came up to me and, gave me advice and everything like that. But, yeah, the Combine's huge. You get a really good opportunity there. But they'll have to kick brand-new balls. I don't know. It all worked out how it was supposed to.
If you're good, they'll find you, though. If you truly have talent that can make it to the NFL, especially as a kicker or punter, I feel like they will find you.
Yeah, small schools represent in the NFL in the kicking and punting position for sure. If you're a bomber – and they think you can maybe find some consistency for a few moments, they'll take a shot on you if they're desperate. You just got to keep going. It's just that whole, who has enough money to keep practicing and focusing on kicking when you have no idea if an opportunity is going to show up? So there's a lot of guys that, I don't want to say, live in their cars, but they live on couches and shit and just show up at these kicking things and just hope to make it. If I was them, I'd be putting shit on film, putting it on the internet, and not tagging the teams, tagging the family members of special teams coaches.
Ooh.
Make that thing a little bit personal.
That's interesting. That makes a lot of sense, actually. I don't know if they would like that or not, though.
Yeah, I don't think they'd like it, but they'd have to appreciate it, especially if you're bombing fucking balls.
They'd respect the hustle. Coaches, I know, Darren's a great coach. He'd respect the hustle. I'm sure he'd make fun of him at first, but then if he was good, he'd be like, hey, man, come on in. Let's see what you got.
Hey, this guy added my niece to say, hey, will you tell your dad or your uncle? And I looked at it, and to be honest, I wanted to make fun of him, but I ain't seen a motherfucker kick a ball like that in a long time. It's just, once you get your opportunity, you have to take advantage of it big time. I mean, that's just kind of life, If I didn't have a good day my pro day, I'm probably selling sandwiches for the rest of my life. I got hot, got lucky, and that opened some eyes. Bill Polian, I got lucky, and I just fell into a good situation. And when you do that, you have to take advantage. I'm very thankful for that, and hopefully you'll get a shot one day. AJ, Chris Mad Dog is after us here on Sirius XM. How much better will his show be than ours, you think?
Probably about 1,000 times better, but they most likely, I'm sure, will have a lot of the same similar conversations that we had on here.
Ooh.
I mean, we talked about weed and Arizona and Gorilla Rocks and monsoons and Wale. And I'm sure that's what Mad Dog Unleashed will be like. Tomorrow's show, AJ Hawk will be in studio. Surprise, surprise, bitches. Tomorrow's going to be massive before SmackDown, then SummerSlam with your phone calls and everything else. Big guests. We'll see you in 23 hours. AJ, you agreed to that when you were drunk. You remember?
Oh, I wasn't drunk. I was there. I was all there, man.
Nah, you're boozed up.
I'm in.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
welcome to PMS After Hours. This is whenever we're off of Sirius and we're just in our After Hours on YouTube. AJ, well, you were all boozed. This should be a liquid death. I didn't get to bring it with me. I apologize. But whenever you agreed to come in live in studio, I think that was after you crashed a golf cart at Brady Quinn's golf outing for being too drunk. So I just didn't know if you were like,
yeah.
No, I'm all in. I was fully sober when I committed, and yeah, I'm excited to be there. You're obviously still going to be on the show. I'll be calling you from Indy, though, right?
Yeah, you'll be driving the ship. I'll just be here, sitting here. you know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I saw some, I believe Sam posted some pictures or on her story of that house. That thing's amazing, that house you got going. I couldn't hear the volume. I know there was like animals around or spiders.
Well, yeah, tarantula almost killed her, I guess, in the pool. And it's not normal, so we got a tarantula-infested pool, which is a fucking problem. You know? Of course, that's a problem. But, yeah, the place is unbelievable. In this house to rent, it's a part of a resort.
Mm-hmm.
So we get room service 24/7.
Let's go.
Did you know
cheaper
that?
Than, what's that?
Did you know coming in, like when you got the place, did you know it came with all of that?
No, I had no idea because I have like 2 meetings I have to go to out here, you know, with some things that are happening out in Arizona, like 2 quick little how you doing, keep it moving type situations. So we were just going to stay in like a hotel or whatever. And Sam found this place. He was like, we could stay here or whatever. And I'm like, that seems a bit much, doesn't it? And then the price was better than all the other places. And then he started laying out all the things. I'm like, is this heaven? This is fucking heaven. This is the best place I've ever stayed in my entire life. It's unbelievable out here. But yeah, Sam's loving it as well, which is always good news.
Obviously. It's not is that an Airbnb?
No.
It can't be if it's connected. If it's connected with the resort, is it a house or is it like a condo situation?
It's a house. We have a massive house. And there's a guest house, too. I didn't know. There's the whole thing.
It's like 2 of your pool houses, AJ.
I don't have a pool, Connor.
Yeah, but you got a pool house.
This is.
Okay,
I was trying to
okay.
figure out what it was. This house is very similar to the AJ Hawk residence, I think.
Really?
Wow.
Same
It's
style.
just so long, you know? It's just so long.
Sure.
I was going to say, if AJ is complimenting that place, it must be like a palatial estate. It must be just massive.
No, that's him trying to seem humble because he knows he has the nicest house on earth. You know what I mean? Like, that is.
I wish I had a guest house. Like, it'd be sweet to have a guest house.
Mm-hmm. Well, you don't need one. Your house is 65,000 square feet.
Yeah, you have
That's false. It's false, but it would always be nice to have a separate. I've always liked outbuildings, barns, guest house, pool house. It'd be nice to have one.
Yeah, so they're not just moseying through the house anytime. Are you talking to me and Sam?
No. I'm saying I'd like to use it. I'd like to use it for different things.
Oh, you want to make that your he shed?
My he shed. Yep, that's what I want.
Put your
That's
kill
what I
room
call
out
it.
there.
Kill room.
Yeah, your Mr. Brooks room, dude. All right, let's finish up these phone calls here and PMS After Hours.
Hey, I know you're getting to them, but Pat, on your I have that same app that Nick has, I guess, for the neighborhood situation, and it's weird how everything is connected. All of a sudden, I saw an email pop up from that app, and there's a coyote walking across somebody's driveway. Yes, around here, I guess, like on the ring cam. And I was like, "Oh, look at you, Pat! Come down and get this guy."
Hey, you want me to come over with my crossbow?
Please do. You only kill like 4 or 5 civilians while you're trying to get this coyote.
Whoa!
Come on.
I'm not getting into this again. I'm a fucking dead-eye sniper, dude.
Bob Lee swagger, dude.
Yeah.
Bang.
You might as well just bring the AR just to be sure, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't want his dog that is young and rambunctious to potentially be caught up with a coyote, and then the AR or whatever has to spray out there. I'll bring my actual bow and arrow. You know what I mean? I decided. I'll give it a 1 ace. You know what I mean?
Jacob Sully.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine if with that coyote, goddamn.
Bang, 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 bang.
What if I got off on 20?
Hey, what if you were riding? You're riding a horse bareback doing that. You think you could do it?
Bro, that'd be fucking on.
Easy.
Bang! Bang! Get the dog out of the way!
Why are you shooting so many times? I thought you were dead on.
Make sure it's dead.
Huh?
Why are you shooting so many times, man? You don't have to hit it a million times.
No, it's like Robin Hood.
Yeah.
First one goes into the side of its neck, and then the rest of them are just splitting everyone after that.
Well, see, that wasn't. I mean, that would potentially be the case, but what I was thinking was boom, pow, front right foot, right into the ground. Then horse, boom, poof, front left foot, then back right.
Yep.
Back left, so now that thing's locked into the ground.
Then what do you do? Then you kick him, and then what happens?
Well, then obviously I do this, and then I let the dog, your dog that's been fighting, kind of knock my finger, and then boom, right in the head. So the dog gets the final kill because the dog was entrenched in battle. And that's the type of leader I am. Whiskey for my men, beer for my horses.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That's the kind of leader I am. That's how you finish. You're so nice. Thank you for letting my dog do that. Appreciate you letting my dog get the final kill just to kind of build his confidence.
I mean, what happens if I come in there and just steal a kill? That's
You're right. He's going to be.
What am I, on a horse too? Oh, so rude.
If you come in here peacocking on a horse riding around and you shoot 4 arrows through the feet of a coyote somehow and just set him up for my dog. Uh-oh. What?
Bro.
This should be good.
I think so. I don't know.
Where'd you go?
What's that, dude?
Where'd you go?
Fucking just imagine me fucking do it right here, dude. Imagine me just...
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine this thing just being a... Could you imagine me pulling a fucking arrow out from behind me while I'm on a horse? And just fucking, wow, bang!
Bang!
It would be awesome, dude.
I mean, I'm so glad you took like 2 minutes to find the perfect prop for this story.
To be honest, the fact that they had umbrellas in the house in the desert surprised me.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Maybe it's for the sun.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you're supposed to hold it. When Sam walks, you hold it over her so she doesn't get beat down by the sun.
Or maybe it's like a Mary Poppins thing where it's just a prop for you to dance with.
Maybe.
Oh.
Let's see it.
Huh.
I'm not your fucking dancing clown. Yeah, you thought about it. Though. You thought about it. You were close, and then right when you stood up, oh no, he got me again.
No. I was never going to dance for you, pal. All right.
Not for me, not for the people. It's not for me.
Well, you kind of said, let's see it, but it was kind of for you there. You were kind of trying to do one of these things. Yeah. Let me tell you.
What's that mean?
Puppeteer. Clown.
Come on, Ty, show him, please.
You're a clown, dude.
Marionette, you bozo.
Yeah, like the NSYNC album, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure a lot of the younger kids know what you're talking about.
They do.
That was like 1997.
One more time.
You'll have to excuse AJ, Pat. He texted me before the show and said he didn't even know if he was going to be able to come on today emotionally because I believe it is the 1-year anniversary of Tom Brenneman getting fired from the Reds play-by-play.
Ty, you have a creative brain. You really do. Your mind is very imaginative. I appreciate it. Marty Brenneman is my guy. Marty, the dad, followed him as a kid.
You said that to me before the show. I told you. I was like, hey.
About Tom. I don't even know what Tom does.
I saw the text. Ty showed everyone.
Show it, Ty. Show us that. Pull it up. Put it on the camera.
Do not!
No, yeah, I won't. Trust me.
Deleted it. Didn't want to even
I was
think
like,
about
oh,
it any longer.
And there's a drive out the...
I don't know when I'll put this headset on again.
That was rough.
Yeah, for you.
I was caught on a hot mic earlier saying, and the drive out the...
I don't know if I'll ever work again.
He is working, though, so.
Yes, high school football in Ohio, baby.
Yeah, AJ got a hired to Centerville.
All right, he'll call the Centerville Oaks out there.
Yep.
I don't know if he will.
Beloved.
You got him the job, so.
I got a lot of pull.
Classic
Let's go to 5-hour engine. You do. What are you talking about? You do. You're wearing a Centerville Oaks shirt right now. You could probably be mayor of that fucking town if you wanted to.
Nah, no chance. I think the mayor's doing a great job there, whoever it is.
You don't even know. You don't care about the town. You just wear the shirt to make them think you care.
No, a kid that I knew that was younger than me was running for mayor. I wonder if he won. I need to check that out.
Phil's going to be mayor, I think, of Plum one day.
Yeah.
I saw Phil posted something like he ran like 10 miles or something, and it seemed like it was during your Jay's bachelor weekend. Does he get up after Saturday and run 15 miles?
Well, he was supposed to tag along with us. He only played like I think 11 holes because he showed up late or something like that because he had to go serve the community and put together a baseball field. Which Phil is a superhuman, honestly. He's got 3 beautiful kids, family. Has to do all the number crunching here, which deals with a lot of bullshit. And he still finds time somehow to go to all of their practices, all of their big events, and run 15 miles a day. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know how he has more hours in a day than everybody else. He's a very impressive human. But the running thing, it's not just because he wants to be fit, which he is a big fit fan. You remember a couple years back, he tried to run the Pittsburgh Marathon, which is a big deal in the city of Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh is all hills. So the marathon in Pittsburgh is a known nightmare. It is something that is real. Phil trained for a long time for that marathon. Long time. Dedicated a lot of hours, a lot of blood, sweat, tears, puke, vomit, everything to that. And as he was running through that thing, you get a medal if you finish. He still is yet to get a medal. 21 miles in. Ooh. He goes into a blackout. Something happens. His body runs and then it collapses. He ends up in a hospital, damn near fucking dies. Like this whole thing. So I think he wants to complete this marathon that has potentially been in the back of mind, and he's like very, very, very committed. We're on his side. I hope he does it. The marathon was created when a motherfucker died running it, a mailman, and Phil almost died. I hope he gets through it on the other side. It is very impressive to watch what he does. Drunk, hungover, sober, dad, adult, CFO. He's always running in there. It's amazing.
Okay, so how did the Pittsburgh Marathon get started again?
Well, marathons in general, 26.2 miles, started with a male person, I think, had to do the trip and died.
Mm-hmm. And when they died, they walked 26.2 miles, handing mail into people's mailboxes?
His name was Marathon. He had to deliver a message, okay? He was Greek. Jeez.
Fucking learn your history.
Thank you. Okay, I stand corrected. Thanks for clearing that up, Diggs. I understand way more now.
Welcome.
His name was not Marathon.
That was the battle.
that was the town.
In Marathon, Florida? What is it? Is it the mail thing, right?
I don't know. Don't ask. I'm asking the boys. They gotta know. They can look it up.
Tony's the resident expert
ask
on
the
this.
Berg boys.
No, not the Pittsburgh. Isn't the founder of marathons?
Hey, where's Mitt? Really? Mitt has to know. Where is he?
I'll wait. I'm telling you. I think it's a mail thing. Was it? I think it's like mail, like delivering mail.
Yeah, it was a guy like having a message.
Yeah,
he was
a soldier.
Yeah. So he may have been delivering a message.
He ran approximately 25 miles to announce the defeat of the Persians to some anxious people.
Yeah.
And he died?
Yeah. Well,
how'd he die?
I don't see he died.
Heart explode.
I don't see that he died
the death parts.
I thought for sure somebody died. That was always my thing, the marathoners. That's a shame. I was wrong all those years. I actually said to Phil, why are you doing something that the guy who founded it died while doing it? Like, can we do something else? It's like and then what's next? Iron Man, probably. From
I mean, Iron Man. Those triathlons are no joke. And then they have these 100-mile races through the woods. They have these people run for like 2-3 days straight. People are nuts.
Is the Indy 500 one a full one or a mini one?
Half.
Half. I think I'm going to do that next year.
Whoa!
What do you finish? You finish at the track or what?
I don't know.
Now you go through the track. You finish downtown, but the track is a part of it. And the cool thing about the track is, my wife and her friend Brandy do it every year. The cool thing about the track is it's in a terrible town. Just a terrible town. Like the area around it's not great.
I actually stayed right there last time I came. Man, I stayed right. I drove right by. I was like, oh, there it is. I've never seen this before.
Well, the area directly around it, maybe not the greatest. And these marathoners, because it's Indianapolis, you go through there, and then you got to either run or jog or walk through some terrible neighborhoods to get to downtown where the marathon ends or whatever. There was some houses giving out shots of tequila and those things the last time. I mean, Gumpy will get distracted on his way from track to downtown. But it's a great event. There's a lot of people that are part of that mini marathon. A lot of people in downtown Indy.
Good news, Pat. That Greek soldier, after further research, he did keel over and die at the end.
Damn.
There it is.
Nice.
Thank
And
you,
so
Greek
what?
soldier.
Okay, so then they started running marathons to honor this guy that died?
Yes.
I mean, we don't know if that's true or not, but hey, cool. It's a good story.
Just clarified it.
We literally just clarified it.
What year did that happen, Nick?
Fucking BC, pal.
If it was the defeat of the Persians, probably, about 150 BC, I'd say.
It says 490
BC.
Ooh, I was close. Hey,
very
close.
Ballpark.
Hey, I just got the BC thing right.
Good.
I'm calling shit back from 490 BC, dude.
Hell yeah.
Good pull.
Don't let him get hot.
Good pull.
Bro.
It's that Arizona air.
SummerSlam weekend, dude.
Let's go.
God, I'm pulling 490 BC references. Are you kidding me, AJ? Let's have a fucking weekend, dude.
Yeah!
Hey, man, I'm looking for. So wait, Friday night SmackDown, right? Normal SmackDown. In Phoenix. The basketball. And then Sunday is a pay-per-view.
Saturday SummerSlam's going. Dahn.
In Vegas.
Dahn.
Is that at the Raiders Stadium?
Allegiant Stadium, yeah. And Allegiant Stadium made the announcement. The Raiders made the announcement that starting this season, regular season, everybody has to have proof of vax or negative test or something like that. I forget what it is to get in there. The Raiders are the only team that have 100% vaccination rate or whatever. So I wonder if the WWE has had to have a lot of conversations with Allegiant Stadium because of what the Raiders just said literally like 4 days ago with SummerSlam being in Allegiant Stadium.
Does this
here in a
apply?
couple days.
So, Pat, I know we had questions about that. So I was actually listening to Brent Musburger talk about it yesterday because he is the voice of the Raiders. Apparently, the governor and Mr. Davis struck a deal for that to be the rule to get in the stadium. But then he also said that once you're in the stadium, if you are vaccinated, you don't need a mask. So that was kind of the deal for that.
Okay, so Al Davis had to negotiate with the governor saying, hey, we want a full stadium, obviously. How do we go about doing that? Governor says, well, if they can prove that they're vaccinated, they can be in there, no mask, do whatever they got to do. So the governor's covering his ass, and Davis is covering his ass, saying, I went to the governor and got this thing figured out. What does that mean for this weekend, though?
Great question.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Season.
But don't you think if you went on the WWE site where they sell the tickets, it would have to tell you somewhere there, like, hey, you have to show proof of vax to get in, or you don't, like whatever's needed.
Drew McIntyre said yesterday a few times he's taking on who's he taking on this weekend, Connor?
Ginder.
Come on.
How could you?
I'm Team Drew McIntyre, so screw Ginder. You know, that's my thought.
Whoa.
His name's Jinder, okay, Mahal, and
excuse me.
The Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre said to us a couple times yesterday, more than 40,000. He said a couple different numbers, so I didn't know where they were getting the numbers to. It's going to be packed out on Saturday night, huh?
Big time.
Loaded.
I mean, how small does the ring look when it's inside a football stadium like that, like in the 50-yard line? It has to look tiny compared to the rest of the stadium.
So, like the original WrestleManias, Throwback Day WrestleManias, the first time it was in an open-air stadium, that shot of the ring being like down there tiny in the middle, like at the 50, is so awesome. Nowadays, with all the incredible jumbotrons everywhere and the shots and everything, it's not like there's not a bad seat in the house, you know? But some of those throwback documentary shit on the WWE network, now only available on Peacock, with those shots of whenever he decided, I'm going to put in a football stadium. And there's probably a lot of people like, the rings are look real small. Fuck them. Get it in there or whatever. It is very small looking down there. I've never, this is my first time being ringside, by the way, at one of these. This is going to be the biggest thing that I've ever been a part of with WWE, I think.
Will you be rotating back and forth then with the Raw crew?
Yeah, I think so. And I have no idea who goes when. Last time we got introed.
Yeah.
Because we had a match on the kickoff show. So since we had the first match of the evening on the kickoff show, it was a SmackDown match. Me and Michael Cole actually got intros and everything to go out there. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome. So I wonder if SmackDown has the first match or not, if we'll get introed.
Do the Raw people get introed?
I think like if the Raw match is on the kickoff show first, the Raw commentary team gets introed, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess.
Because
How's Jimmy? How's Jimmy doing?
In between matches, it's a very quick.
Yeah, you have to do it like during a. I don't know what kind of break do they go to on pay-per-view.
They don't.
Yeah, they'll send like a video package of some sort, and then we're supposed to react out of the video package. And normally, I'm at that point like, "Hey Corey, good job, man, getting the headset on." And they're like, "Round 3." It's like, whoa, what the hell just happened? Is Peacock working or not? You know, that was my last time.
Yeah.
What was that? That was Hell in a Cell, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, right?
Last time was Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah.
Money in the Bank.
Is it raining in Indy?
Yeah, it's pouring. It just started pouring.
Yeah,
Yesterday it happened around this time too.
Windy, cold. What type of rain?
No, it's hot.
Hot rain.
But downpour.
Like lava.
Like bad?
Bad.
Yeah.
These guys said that they had like an hour trip home yesterday because of the rain caused a bunch of accidents.
It only rained downtown though. Our yards are still hard as a goddamn rock.
You gotta get the sprinkler out there.
It's too much money.
It's coming down right now.
You gotta get the.
Goddamn water bill. I ain't doing that.
Hook it up to your
It's
neighbor's
rain.
little hose bib.
Smart.
Steal from your neighbors. That's smart. Look at you. You
borrow
still
it.
got a little rust belt in you.
Borrow it and then let him know, hey, when you need some water, come get some from me.
That's very nice of you to do that. So there was a monsoon out here. You guys are getting terrible rain. It was the hottest July ever. Everything's okay.
Yeah, we're fine.
We're fine. Football's like 3 weeks away.
Okay, cool. That's the show. All right. Everything's good. Let's remember that. Hammer Dahn's in 15 minutes at youtube.com/Hammer Dahn. If you haven't entered the ticker contest yet, make sure you do that. Have we had that up and running?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, dope. All right, I hope somebody enters. We're giving away how many? 3 pairs?
3 pairs.
There you go. SeatGeek ticker giveaway. Official rules, send a tweet using hashtag SeatGeekPMS. Welcome home. And the last cereal you think I ate. I can't wait to see what you guess. Is it my favorite? Is it one of the ones that are down there? Who knows? Who knows? If you get it right, you're automatically entered. And the hashtag, you are automatically entered into winning one of the 3 home opener good tickets that we'll be giving away. Pairs of good tickets we'll be giving away, AJ. That's a big deal. Home opener. Welcome home. Get out there and see the team.
Yeah, I guess. I love that we have to try to guess what the last cereal was that you ate.
What's your guess?
When did you eat it? I need to know that.
Like time of day or what day?
Like what day? That's all I need.
It's a couple days ago.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah, it's probably Apple Jacks then.
Oh, no.
Did you tweet it? Hashtag SeatGeekPMS.
Yeah, someone
Welcome
put
home.
that out there for me, guys. Someone put that out there. That's my guess.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, just give us your password, AJ, and we'll
I'll send it right
send
over.
it up for you.
Yeah, tell me. I'll do it right now, actually. Send it over. I'll log in. Send me your password. What is it?
I gotta look it up. Actually, I don't know.
I just did the new phone thing. I did the new phone thing.
Yeah.
So you have to re-sign into everything. It was awesome getting 10 new passwords.
Yeah.
You know, that was really
Brutal.
awesome. Going into the email, need to do this. Oh, it didn't match up. Can you confirm it? Then them shit talking your new password. It's kind of weak. Kind of weak. Even though one fucking character ago it was strong. So how did it go from so strong to so weak so quickly? You tell me. That was an entire process. This password world we're living in is fascinating.
Well, especially after you watch something like Shiny Flakes and you know that there's just a deep, dark web where they can just tell you how to break into anything you want.
And they can get your shit anytime they want.
Anytime. Snap of the finger. Boom. Who cares? I got all your information. I'm you now is basically what they can do.
And there's nothing you can do about it. There's really nothing you can do about it. If these little nerds who are ranging from the age of like 12 years old all the way up to like 55, 60, maybe even 70 years old, these super smart computers, if they want to get your money out of your bank account, guess what?
They're
gonna get it.
Yep.
They're going to get it. Like, that's just the way it is. It's pretty fascinating. It's awesome. And I do appreciate all these people trying to keep up with them. Like, hey, you need to change your password. We need to do this. We need to do that whole thing. But I'll tell you what, goddamn, it's getting more and more tough to remember how I get in to send a tweet out. I mean, it is. If I don't have that facial ID at this point, I'm fucked.
Mm-hmm. Are you fully converted to everything Face ID pretty much?
Not everything, no. Are you?
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
Damn near, yeah.
Are they going to get the eyeball ever?
The retina scan, I think that's a plan, yeah.
Be careful with the face scan, pal.
This fucking guy, man.
Which was
I actually saw that one. It popped up because I'm close enough here.
Yeah.
I actually saw that. Hey, that does not look like Gumpy at all.
No.
What do you mean?
Not even close.
Sounds just like
What do you mean?
It's got the green hat though.
Oh, yeah, he's got the Castro hat.
Unfortunately, that green hat was thrown in the trash.
No! Look what you did.
Fully.
All right, enter in the contest on Twitter. We want to give away those tickets. Hopefully, we'll give them to you. Enter as many times as you feel necessary to get the dub. Once the winning answers are all collected, we will then randomly select. Enter as many times. We appreciate the hell out of you. AJ, anything to say to the people before we come back tomorrow on a Feel Good Friday with you live in studio with the boys?
Hell yeah.
No, I'm excited, man. Tell the boys I'll see you guys tomorrow. It should be fun.
All right, thank you all so much. We can't thank you enough for watching. I have no idea why you do, but I'm fucking grateful for it. I want to let you know that. There's so many things you could be doing with your life while you sit there and work or go to school or hang out. And the fact you allow us to be a part of it will never cease to amaze me. First of all, it's fucking amazing that you allow us to be a part of it. I don't know why anybody would, but we appreciate the hell out of it. I'm forever grateful for it. I hope you enter, win some tickets, and we'll see you manana. Cheers.